everybody. Welcome back to the Tournament Champions Podcast. The podcast where we take our champions and put them in podcasts and tournament.
Why are you spitting on me?
Sorry.
Oh, you're not. It's fine.
So we take our same movies and tournaments and put them in tournament against each other. And we're not doing that this week. We're doing our top 10. We're continuing our top 20 TV shows of the year. I'm Jeff, joined by JD and Kyle, etc., etc. You know the business. So we're going into our top 10 2019 TV shows. We're just continuing where we left off. Please go back and listen to part 1 because that shit is crucial.
Yeah.
It is crucial.
I remember when we did that so long ago.
So long ago.
I don't. It's been so long I don't
like
remember. And what are y'all,
yesterday.
superhumans that y'all can remember stuff from that long ago? That's crazy.
I got Jeff on you.
It was Western Minuten. That's what it was.
My favorite thing about this, and I'm sorry to interrupt, is that like basically for Jeff, it's like waking up at 7 a.m. and starting to get shit faced.
Dude,
It is.
Basically for Jeff, that's what's happening
Jeff
right
into
now.
a Rockstar fucking Saturday, bro.
Yeah,
It's
Jeff's
my
starting a
breakfast.
Rockstar Saturday.
God, man, I should have brought other supplies. I'm failing Jeff as a rockstar right now.
He woke up at 7 a.m. and just started getting shit faced with us alcoholics over here. Oh,
All right. So we are at number Nummer Zane. It's German. Sorry. I'm gonna get more German the more I drink, I think. So
soon I'll be like,
what's
I
your
don't even know what you're asking anymore.
Was ist dein Nummer Zane?
In my top
I actually understood that. I understand German. Ah!
Because German is not that fucking hard. That's why.
It's whatever you think they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
What is my number 10? Thank you for asking, Jeff, in perfect English. This is where y'all roll your eyes. Y'all can check out, actually, if y'all want to go make a sandwich.
Is this Dragon Ball? I gotta pee.
No, fuck off, dude. Dragon Ball, it didn't come out last year, so maybe don't...
I wouldn't... Okay. All right.
Okay. It's equally as cucky. It's an anime called Demon Slayer. Very true.
Okay.
I'm not even joking. This is one of the... I am a firm hater of new age anime. Just don't like it. I'm a big 90s to like 2002, like, so that's 89 to like 2002. Just cuck. Anime cuck. Anything from that era I love. Anything after that era is just a little too like weird for me. We are actually currently right now in a what I would call a anime golden renaissance. Like we're back like in a golden age of like really good anime. I'm watching a lot of stuff week to week again and stuff like that. And it's very weird. And Demon Slayer kind of stands above not only in animation, some of the most beautiful animation I've ever seen. Just wonderful character character arcs and everything like that, and just amazing fights. There has been a few times that I've actually stood up during an anime and like cheered, like woo! Dragon Ball Z is really the only one that's ever made me do that because there's such a long 20-year history I have with that anime. Really easy for me to get invested and jump up when someone transforms, something like that. I've known this anime for 3 weeks by the time I stood up and cheered my very first time. And it was just because the animation was so beautiful and the moment was so amazing and the effectiveness that they pulled off was so great. It's another one of those anime, just like My Hero from a couple years ago, that it feels like everybody's kind of watching, and we're talking about that water cooler talk effect again. And Demon Slayer is just one of those. Like everybody who's watches anime, they're watching Demon Slayer right now. So it's just been really interesting to get online and talk to people about that. And people that I forget that watch anime, they're like, I've been watching it, have you? And I'm like, fuck, I forgot you're one of those nerdy guys, you know, or nerdy gals, you know. It's just really cool to like experience something like this again. And the new season's coming out this year. It's like the next big thing. You guys start super into anime, I get that. I really suggest this show for both of you. And I wouldn't usually suggest anime shows to y'all. So I think it's really something different.
It's like, I tried My Hero Academia and like I tried. That's all I can say for it is I tried. I watched like the first season and a half, and I couldn't keep with it. I don't know what it was, but so like, is this different from that? Or?
Yeah, this is like samurais and demons and stuff like that. So
Jesus,
this is completely different, different era, different everything, and like the gist of the show is like this kid. In this world where like demons exist, like he goes out to go to the neighboring town, and when he comes back to his farm home, his entire family, including his like little brother and his little sister and everyone, has just been massacred by a demon. And I know you're gonna laugh. Kind of looks like Michael Jackson, but he's controlling these demons that are just like running amok and stuff like that, and it's all building towards this like big fight that hasn't happened yet, because that's what it's building towards. But he's learning how to be what you call a demon slayer, who are these like samurai like elite who go around like destroying demons, and like demons are just known to live out in the woods and stuff like that. And it's just the big draw is his sister gets turned into a demon in the attack on his family.
Oh shit!
And instead of slaying her, he's keeping her alive, which is against the order of the demon slayers. So like they are not happy about that, and it unravels into this big, just wild story, and it's just so good. And I'm telling you, like, there's just moments of animation that are just like, you've never seen anything like it. And even if y'all try and watch it and you hate it, I'll just send you all those scenes, because like you'll appreciate them, because you like art. I mean, it's art, man. Like, it's so beautiful, like these scenes, and you don't really even need to know. Like, there's a obviously emotional connection to the scenes, but there's obviously just a visual connection as well. So you'd be able to appreciate them. It's
well, I mean, I can appreciate that because I saw that this is more emotion-based anime, but Weathering with You.
Yeah.
And like some of the anime, like the art style was just fucking mind-blowing. There's an entire part where she has to clear the weather for that's the premise of the movie, by the way, is like she can control the weather, and they use it to their advantage to try and get business, and people pay her to make it stop raining.
Mm-hmm.
There's an entire part where she has to make it stop raining for a night so they could do fireworks, and the fireworks are like, is this real? Or like, it was crazy. Like, I legit thought they just did real fireworks and put it in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a crazy, beautiful movie.
I think an English version of this anime is coming out soon. I'd wait for that. I don't mean to like pass off as like, you guys are noobs, watch it in English. I watch my anime in English. I have a hard time because I'm dyslexic, like reading anime and watching what's going on at the screen at the same time.
I just can't fully, I don't know, get immersed into a thing without the English dub, especially if it's like an episodic thing.
Yeah, which it's weird because I know when you say that, I know you don't mean that about like foreign movies and stuff, like, you know what I mean? So like, I know where you're coming from. I feel the same way. But if you and I were to just say those feelings as we are right now, people would be like, oh, these guys are fucking morons. But I get you, and I'm glad that you feel that way, because that's exactly how I feel.
It depends on the thing. Like, for example, the show Dark, which is a German show, it's a Deutsch show, on Netflix. The dub is so fucking bad that I turn it to German.
Yeah.
So that's an example
that
of
happens too. Yeah, but if the dub is good, then why not watch in your native tongue so you can like appreciate the animation and stuff like that?
And Weathering with You didn't skimp.
No, you told me what that voice cast was, and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Lee Pace and Allison Brie. They just fucking killed it, dude. Yeah.
Is Dark animated or live action?
Live action.
See, that makes a difference for me. I can't do dubs with live action shit.
It's like they just take a shortcut and just go, let's just cast fucking some hobo, and they're terrible.
I disassociate the person because I know that's not their voice.
But at least it teaches me like
animation. It works
German words. It teaches me certain German words, like, and I know. Oh my god, I'm realizing that it's harder to watch German shows and subtitles now that I know German, because like, I'm still catching up to a lot of what they're saying. I don't know a lot of the words that they're saying.
Yeah.
But I know most of the smaller words, like auf and aus and stuff like that, because those are like on and off. And the and the shit like that.
Yeah.
I know those words. So like, I'm trying to piece together the sentence in my brain while I'm reading the subtitles.
Which is not always in the same order, so
it's so fucking difficult. Have you seen on Amazon Prime? There's an anime that's been recommended by a ton of fucking people online, called Vinland Saga, and it hasn't even been recommended by people that like anime. People that don't like anime are still recommending it.
Netflix has I don't know if you do that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Like, I don't like anime, but I like this. I'm like, okay.
I had my queue the whole time, and it's a 2019 show.
I haven't heard of it, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it. The way you describe Demon Slayer sounds fucking badass, honestly.
Demon Slayer's cool, guys. Like, I know that I'm like a samurai cuck or whatever, but like these guys going around like murdering, like, I mean, like these. Oh, dude, the fights are so epic, dude. And y'all don't have to watch them week to week. Like, I got like to episode 20, and I think the season lasted episode 26. Like, I got to watch episodes 1 through 20, like, almost back-to-back. Because, like, everyone was like, you gotta watch it. I'm like, I don't care. I don't like new anime. Like, boo, I'm
new shit.
I'm 33. Boo. You better be recommending something from 1993. Yeah, anyway, that's just how I am. I'm very backwards in my progressiveness of anime. And this was when I was eating a lot of crow this year. Because by the time it hit episode 20, I was like, I can't watch this show week to week. Like, I can't. And actually, I still have not watched the last episode of the last season because I just like it was one of those things. I'm like, I don't want it to end. I don't want this to end. So now I have that episode whenever I want to watch it, whenever the next season's about to start, and I can watch it maybe 2 weeks out and be like, yeah, that was great. And then 2 weeks later, I get the new season. So I'm trying to preserve anything. I don't know. That's why it's so special. I'm trying to preserve that feeling that I always felt as a kid watching anime and stuff like that. And like, if an anime can do that now, that's special to me. It hit top 10 because of that. That's why.
That's doubt.
Doubt.
I will consider it because considering how loaded the year was, I will definitely consider that recommendation, honestly. Cool. So, JD, what is your 10?
You guys are not going to believe what my number 10 is.
I swear to God, if it's Watchmen, I'm about to leap over this goddamn automated thing.
You're not.
My number 9 is Watchmen. I'm kidding.
Believe it. It is going to be unbelievable.
Oh! Thank God.
Sorry.
Is it unbelievable?
It is unbelievable.
Oh!
That's the theme song of the show.
It seems very wrong. It seems like wrong in tone.
I don't know.
I feel like the tone's off a little bit.
Yeah. Do you misremember those facts about your rape and stuff? That's what the whole fucking show is a bunch of fucking white police officers. Well, not the whole show, but like the beginning part is he just goes through the motions of the whole process with a rape kit and all that.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
You know it's a true story, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Dude,
it's fucking crazy.
Okay, Merritt Weaver's really good in that. I always forget, even though you mentioned it earlier, the girl from Booksmart. What the fuck is her name?
The entire thing was around her in the first episode. It was around her experience as somebody who survived through that and having to explain it to cops that were dudes, didn't know how to handle it.
Right.
And then, like, to see the very first episode, the very next episode, second episode was with Merritt Weaver, who was interviewing another victim.
Somebody totally separate.
Totally separate, but she was handling it with tact and care.
Yeah.
Separated her from the scene.
Exactly.
Put her in a car, nurtured her.
That's right.
Got the facts out of her.
Right.
And just, you could see immediately the contrast.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember, and this might have just been me projecting something, but they kind of made that second girl's story a little less believable overall, because it kind of seemed like maybe she could be doing this for attention. At least that's the way I took it.
Maybe because the show didn't show you that.
Precisely, possibly. But with the first one, with the girl from Booksmart,
Caitlin Deaver. Yeah.
Caitlin Deaver, you saw it happen to her. Like, you experienced it with her, so you know she was telling the truth. So it's just that like
the
juxtaposition where
flashback,
like it happened to her, and these guys act like this, and then with this other girl, it's left a little more ambiguous, and it's treated with the utmost amount of respect and care. Mm-hmm. Dude, that was a great show. Just well acted all the way across the board.
Yeah. I mean, those
Toni
are like
Collette
the three.
Is so good.
Those are like the three best women you could get for that, because
Yeah.
they were like already in 2019, already like getting attention on them.
See, I only
Merritt
knew...
Weaver. I mean, she. After that was when I was like, oh, okay, she's amazing. Was in Marriage Story. When she's having to give the papers to Charlie, Adam Driver.
Oh, that's her. Okay, that's her.
Yeah,
and she's
that's
so
Merritt
fucking
Weaver,
funny that entire scene.
She's great.
I'm hot. It's so fucking great.
Because she's just not comfortable at all.
Yeah,
I first saw her in Walking Dead.
Why was there a?
That's her. That's the that's the girl from Walking Dead who was like the girlfriend who got shot in the eye with an arrow. Yeah.
With Dwight shot her in the head. Not Dwight. The other guy who took the iron to the face. Is it Dwight?
Yeah, that's Dwight.
Dwight, yeah.
I said Dwight, and I immediately went Office, and I'm like, that's not right.
I legitimately did not remember she was in that show until you just...
Me neither, yeah. That's just totally news to me.
All that memorable, except for
I remember her from Signs, then Unbelievable, then Marriage Story.
Signs?
Yeah. She was the pharmacist who was like, Father, can I ask you a question?
Holy shit!
You're asking me too many... You're asking...
That is crazy. I haven't watched that movie in so long.
I remember that vividly. I remember her in that scene.
I mean, dude,
But do you recall that scene where like she's at the pharmacy?
Yeah, I remember the pharmacy.
It's right there, but I never put it together.
Yeah, she's much younger. Yeah.
Oh yeah, way younger.
Yeah.
It's but like.
And she's in that Godless show on the Western on Netflix. It's a miniseries.
I never watched that. That's with.
But so is Matthew McConaughey's smoking hot wife from The Gentleman. She's in that show and she's amazing.
Nice, very good.
Okay.
Unbelievable is a really great show. Every episode ends with some type of reveal or cliffhanger that will make you go, well, I guess I'm doing this the whole night. And you'll just want to,
Also,
finish it.
Considering the last time I saw Toni Collette, she was in an uncompromising position, we'll say.
Yeah.
On
with
every
a piano
level.
Wire.
It's really nice. Yeah, it's really nice to just kind of see her as a normie
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a badass.
Yeah, she's the badass cop. Like Merritt Weaver's like more like the let's kind of be a little
stop and think.
Stop and think. And Toni Collette's like, let's just fucking go get him. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's the first scene you see her in, she's tackling a dude. You know what I mean? Like so. Yeah. It's a really great show.
It was a good turnaround. Yeah, really good show.
It's a great choice. We're at me now. So my number 10 is Russian Doll.
Oh, that was a
push from
slight push from earlier for me.
Push for me. We synced.
Yeah, I had that at 12. That's what we both did.
Yeah, we synced.
This is just, I think, a brilliantly tackled way to do the Groundhog Day gimmick.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
it feels fresh because the character that you're following is flawed, and I have respect for, like, Fleabag's another example of like a show where like you're writing these really really flawed complex characters that you're not really supposed to 100%. I mean, you still root for them, but you're not supposed to 100% identify with them because you're like, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But like, there's clearly some self-destructive issues with at least the main lead female, whatever her name is, her Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
Her character. There's some self-destructive patterns with her that you kind of have trouble
Right.
fully identifying with, but you still root for her because she's charming as fuck.
Right.
But I just love the way that they tackled this, and they had another person going through this at the same time.
Yeah.
Who was kind of living life completely different.
Dude, that ending of that episode when you're in the elevator.
Episode, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Third episode or so is when they bring that in.
Yeah, that was so brilliant.
Awesome.
I remember like reaching. I was like, "You guys, this show went like Super Saiyan. Like this, this show like went next."
This was my number one for.
I was gonna say half the year,
like until like
half the year,
June.
No, seriously,
no,
I was gonna say like half the entire fucking year. This was my number one show of the entire year.
Yeah. It feels like the second half of the year kind of butchered our lists.
It did.
Kind of like
you will notice that almost everything on my list is beyond the half point of the year. Yeah, I mean you will notice that.
It's kind of crazy. But yeah, this is just a really well done show. And when they announced the season 2, even though the season 1 had kind of a definitive, inexplicable ending. You're still kind of like, we're satisfied with it. But season 2, I would be happy to get that.
If the same people are involved, I'm all in. You know.
Yeah, same here.
It's kind of how I feel about A Quiet Place. Not that they're related in any way, but it's like I kind of trust who's behind it creatively to at least make me.
Yeah, and it's
not going to be what I think it's going to be ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because what I think it would be, I don't want season 2. But if they make it something fresh and original, a different take on it, then
different people maybe.
All right. Yeah, I would have much.
I want to see this with a child.
Oh God. Well, yeah.
I don't think they can ever do that.
No, yeah, with a child throwing himself under a bus and stuff like that. Yeah. Jeff got real dark there, man.
Dark sense of humor of me. It was like they would never fucking do that.
No, but they could fuck with because like we still don't know what the cause of this thing is, what this anomaly is,
and I don't expect we'll ever. It's not that kind of show.
No, but I expect I would like them to very much explore maybe the different ways that it could manifest itself.
Yeah,
because it doesn't necessarily. It could be applicable to what lessons the two people need to learn, not necessarily always swapping, living the same day over and over again. Like it could come about different ways.
Right.
Maybe it happens to her again. I don't know.
I would be okay with that. I would be okay with her being like the Obi-Wan to somebody that's experiencing it that's brand new.
Possibly.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Especially because
like an Edge of Tomorrow where she
supposedly doesn't give a shit, but at the end of the season she does.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But still,
kind of like how Kathleen Kennedy feels about Obi-Wan. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Kyle, what's your number 9?
So no, my number 9 it's getting pushed, right? Barry.
Yeah.
Slight push.
Yep.
Slight. Let me cue this.
I'm so bad about that.
All right.
Yeah.
So JD, what's your number 9?
I'd Glow at 9.
It's
is that top? Slight push. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh no, just kidding. I already listed it at 12.
Kidding.
That's my number 12. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought so.
Sorry, Kyle. Where did you have?
Oh, but he forgot about it.
I didn't have it on my list.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so never mind. We can talk about it. I just assumed it was higher because I'm a wrestling cuck.
Nowadays, everybody want to talk because I got something to say.
That comes out with the lips.
It's just a bunch of gibberish because Kyle forgot about Glow.
I've forgotten too much in the last 10.
That's the only rap. That's the only rap that I fucking know, and I barely know it. And I never say
I'm just saying, if we were timing that, he would have just beaten the world record for rapping as fast as Eminem and Twista does, so.
He's happy, he's happy, he's
the band.
Anyway, so you're probably more equipped to talk about Glow, so it's great.
Well, I think it's brilliant how they did the Freaky
This
Tuesday.
Was a great season.
It was. It really was.
Fantastic.
Could use more Mark Maron, but I loved everything about.
Yeah, we can always use more Mark.
That's
Maron,
what I say about every season. So.
And I think the way that his relationship with Ruth progressed, Allison Brie, totally felt natural.
Yeah, for
it felt
sure.
totally organic.
For sure.
Other shows would have totally shit the bed in that regard.
It would have happened too early and
Yeah.
not be earned.
Yeah, it would have just been like, really? That's weird.
Yeah.
They're older, but they mentioned that like he's like it's because
they
I'm your
address
fucking
it.
dad.
Yeah, they address it.
But I love my favorite episode. One of the favorite episodes I have of the entire year is the episode where they switch gimmicks. I just wish
my God, that was so
I just wish
good.
more wrestling places would do that.
Yeah.
Just cause fuck
Yeah,
it.
like Freaky Friday type
Yeah,
shit. Just
that'd
like,
be so fun.
yeah.
And it made me go, oh wow, the blonde actress, Betty Gilpin. She played, I forget his character's name, but it's like, oh wow, she can actually has comedic chops because she had to play
Zoya.
Yeah, she had to play Zoya. and
Liberty
I was like,
Bell.
Oh, she's really funny.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it just made me kind of look at her in a
was
different
cool.
light. I appreciated the arcs that they gave almost every character.
Every
in this
character
one,
had a
like,
moment, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a moment where involving an Asian character
Okay.
Oh, yeah, with the...
or an entire arc, I should say.
yeah, it was her whole, like, backstory and everything.
Her and the loud Bronx girl or whatever.
Yeah.
Having that whole kind of I don't know.
Just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, and then when they kind of
she's-
shared their
she's
experiences,
Jewish
they're like,
and
"Oh, we
she's
have more in
Korean,
common
so
than we
there's-
thought," but it kind of played out more natural and felt. I don't know. I just really like I really liked the season. It was really good. It used to be in my top 10 until like yesterday.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to like kind of consider like how much of my wrestling cuckiness weighing into where I'm putting it.
Fair enough.
So yeah, and I still got mass respect for the cast.
I would
A lot of the
say
stunts.
it starts strong because like she's as Zoya, she's like immediately making fun of like the like Earth like launch or whatever of the space shuttle to the
Yeah.
and then it blows
the
up.
challenge
Yeah.
explodes. Yeah.
And like it's live TV, and she's like, oh, like, it's so fucking hilarious.
So
it's so
awkward. I love it.
awkwardly hilarious, and like I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good season. Like, and I love that. I love feeling really good about a season in the first episode. And
Yeah,
like,
I agree with
I
that.
mean, like even like stuff like Daredevil season 2, episode 1, you're like, ooh, I hope this turns
Yeah.
around, and it does,
Yeah.
you know, for me at least. But there
it
are
does.
moments where like series are like they're make and break by that first episode. Like Glow season 3, like I'm like you just know you're in good hands after that first episode. And that's the first gag. You're like, oh, they're really going for it this season, you know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, I really like that show.
So that was JD's number
9.
9. Oh
Yeah.
God, we're at my 9. My number 9 is Legion.
Push hard. Yeah, push.
Pushing, we're pushing. Hold on. Okay, I played enough. All right. So what is Kyle? What's your number 8?
My number 8. We pushed it earlier. Love, Death, and Robots.
Nice.
Ooh.
Really like-
I'm gonna get a drink and I was just waiting for the opportunity. I'm gonna get some ice for my drink and gab about that, and I'll come back and contribute.
Oh, okay. So
back.
Jeff hates this show. That's why he's leaving.
Hey.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he left. I'm sorry.
No, he is leaving.
So Jeff hates this show.
does hate
No.
the show.
He
He's talking about how much he hates
actually
it right
he was
now.
the one like where I was like that. I was super into the show.
Yeah, see?
And he watched it first and he goes, "This show's really good." And I go, "Cool, can't wait."
Yeah.
I knew I was going to be into this show. I really like just like I want to tell a 5 to 15 to 20 minute story, and that's what this entire
Yeah.
thing is just like telling these like micro stories.
This was the season with the murder loop, right?
Yep, that's my favorite episode. The entire
Yes.
thing,
Oh
The
my
Witness.
God,
I think it's
that
called
was
The
so
Witness.
good.
It may be my favorite thing all year.
Wow.
Seriously, like I just love that.
Really?
I love it so much. But this entire like season, like I don't know if there's a single thing that I just didn't like. And I think some people were talking about they didn't like the.
Okay, so this one had the redneck mech warriors.
Yep,
had the murder loop.
It had Topher Grace and Mary Elizabeth Weinstead.
The freezer, the magical freezer.
Which people like.
Yeah.
I didn't like that episode. I'm like, kind of really like that episode.
Yeah, that's cool.
I just thought this whole show was just like so fun and interesting and cool, and maybe you didn't like love one episode, but the next episode was so different that the last thing doesn't matter at all. Like it just, it's so cool. I think I binged this all in one sitting.
Same.
I slow
easy to
rolled
do.
it for sure because I just kind of used it as like, and this demeans it sounding. It sounds like it demeans it, but it's really not. I use it as filler between other shit because I knew that I could just watch 2-3 episodes in 30 minutes.
So Jeff and JD hate this show.
I hated the show.
Hey man, I had it in my 20s.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah, I pushed it from you. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I just love it a
really
lot.
good, man.
I think we don't get a lot of like weird anthology shows and stuff like that, and I think this really like it was really bringing something that I needed, which is sci-fi. We had like Altered Carbon last year, which is what I call surface level sci-fi. It's like fun.
Sure.
Like, why we got samurai swords and we slip each other's skins. I'm like, yeah, you're not really thinking about much else, but I'm into it. You know.
All that being said, I can't fucking wait for the new season.
Dude, I think I put that show at like number 5 last year or whatever. Like, I really enjoy that show, but it's like I call it surface level sci-fi for a reason. Like there's nothing cerebral going on in that show, you know. What I'm talking about, love Death and Robots. It gave me that sci-fi kind of fix for this year. I thought the stories were really excellent. I don't think there was a single episode I just didn't like. I love more some than others, obviously. That's just how things work. Hard number 8 for me. This was like in the top 5 for me for like most of the year as well, so it's another just like really stuck all year for me.
Cool.
It's more or less where I landed with it. I guess a lot of people share the sentiment of not liking some of them more than the others, and that's kind of why I put it at 19 because the ones that I loved, I really, really fucking loved.
Yeah.
I could not believe the animation style in a lot of these. Yeah. It was just utterly incredible. I'm so happy we're getting more of this.
Me too.
So
Yeah. I just can't remember any I just didn't like, or I was trying to be like, okay, well, I guess we have to have a couple bad ones, right? I just don't remember feeling that way at all. I just remember liking most of them and loving some of them. You know, like it's just so yeah, good for that show.
Yeah, for sure.
Good for you, show. So that was your number 8.
No,
right?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so JD, what's your number 8?
I put Mindhunter at number 8.
Slight push, the slightest of pushes.
Push.
Literally
Slightest
the
of pushes.
slightest push.
All right,
Right.
so my number 8 is Barry.
Lightest of pushes for that.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Okay, so what's your number 7, Kyle?
It's Mindhunter.
Mindhunter.
There we go, I figured.
That's
my number 20, which means hated it.
Hated it.
In fact, if I didn't actually look at this list since the news have come out about this show, it may have like suffered the OP treatment. But
Yeah.
That's so frustrating.
So
man.
first off, fuck you, David Fincher. I'm gonna make one of the greatest shows airing right now, and then just say no to the 3rd season. Go fuck yourself, dude. Second off, I don't know, dude. I really enjoyed this entire season. There are moments that I was just like, don't want you doing this, and by the end of it, I'm like, favorite part. So the other
everything with Tinch's kid.
Yeah, Tinch's. Thank you, Tinch. I was like, the Tinch kid stuff. I'm like, don't want any of this. And by the end of it, I'm like, wow. I think especially in the reflections of when he goes in so heated to that Manson interview, knowing what his kid has done, and like he has that philosophy that no one could be changed, but like he can't think that way because he's his kid, you know,
trying to find the way,
and he's trying to find answers through Charles fucking Manson, and it's just like it's a really powerful scene. I really love this show. I think it's so perfect. I think when you look at like what the actual killers look like and their mannerisms, and you look at who is portraying them, it's super eerie. I don't know how they get these people to look so much like these killers. Prosthetics, I guess. I really don't know. Like, it really creeps me out. Like, I'm like, do they resurrect these killers to, like, shoot this scene? Very creepy to me. I really like it.
Well, the guy that plays Manson also plays him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, obviously.
Yeah. So, like, he's obviously Hollywood Manson now.
Oh, the guy who waves
Dewey
at somebody
Crow.
that one time?
One time. He's barely there. Huge star. I think is he an Australian too, or am I wrong? I have no idea.
I have no idea about that. I just know he's Dewey.
He's Dewey Crow.
Yeah, he's Dewey Crow from.
Hey,
from
if anybody asks you who came in here and took this,
Justified.
it's Raylan Givens, all right, and that's Raylan.
I don't know what any of that was.
It's just
bad. At least I know that.
Dewey Crow is the bumbling fucking idiot that's just around for all the weird shit in this backwoods Kentucky town.
Raylan
Givens has domain over.
One show I probably need to go back and loop around to.
I forgot what show we were talking about.
I don't know.
We were talking about Mindhunter.
I was about to say Love, Death, and Robots, and I was like, oh, that's different. David Fincher. Because David Fincher executive produced that one. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully he doesn't run that show into the fucking ground, too.
Hey, look. Mindhunter's coming back. It's just he's doing a movie. That's all it is. It's coming back.
That's probably
so. This is getting Obi-Wan blowed up,
Yeah, I think it is.
I didn't like the script. Okay.
It's not like the actors hated the show, so they won't come back.
I know, and I for 2 episodes now already, I've been screaming about Kathleen Kennedy and Obi-Wan Kenobi. That show is happening, and probably in the same time frame that we think it's happening. So don't worry about it. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna be
fine. It'll be fine.
Kathleen Kennedy still sucks. It's fine.
Mindhunter's really good. I think I had it at 20 because I fucking hated it, obviously.
Yep, clearly.
No, but it's just I don't.
There was a side story in this particular season that I just didn't give a shit about, and I don't even think I can bring it up without not being a social justice warrior. So.
Oh, why do you hate lesbians?
Exactly. I don't hate lesbians. Jeff, you know I like lesbians, Jeff. Do you know what I don't care about, though?
It fits
forced
into
lesbian love stories that make no sense. They're forced. They make no sense. Doesn't make any sense.
You're right. It's kind of forced, but I see what they're trying to go for.
I like trying to humanize all the characters. That's its purpose. Everyone is being humanized.
I see the intent, but I agree the execution is not.
Well, and I don't even care that it's they're trying to score points because she's lesbian. I don't care about that. That's not what I care about. I just don't think any of the execution was appropriate. So
yeah,
we spent a lot of time in these episodes on her kissing some girl, and I just didn't care about any of it. So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I see the intent.
That's not what I remember from the season at all.
No, agreed. I didn't really remember it until you.
Well, so something I remember. It's my number fucking 9, guys. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's not number 7, so it's not something I remember the season for. But it is a flaw that stood out to me just because I'm just 100%. Why are we
right?
I get it.
For me, why it was 20 for me, aside from me hating it, is just there were just some general episodes that I was like, oh, you could have moved things along a little faster for that.
Sorry, that was a little delayed.
There were just some episodes I was like, oh, let's move things along a little bit, just a little bit faster, please. But I mean, that's such a minor complaint because it's still number 20, and for my list, because I've seen so much, that is still a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like I'm just I don't know.
It's not like my pithy tornado top 20.
Yeah.
TTT.
Your 20's been pretty good so far. I'm afraid that we're gonna miss some stuff as we go forward here.
Yeah, you're afraid that you're gonna OA it. Hey, all right.
OA makes me mad, dude. You have no idea how much you do because I was talking to both of y'all. But I was like, this is the best show happening right now. When it got canceled, I was like, everything is dead to me.
That news fucking
everything
infuriated me.
Yeah,
I'm so upset about that.
Too.
Yeah, it's just.
But goddamn it, was that still not an excellent season?
It was so good,
it was
dude.
Amazing.
When that fucking
that's even more of a reason to put it in higher.
Oh my god,
because you want to.
It's so good,
out of bitterness.
It's absolutely, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch 1 and 2 as it happened. I watched it after. I think I watched it leading up to season 3, so I could watch that kind of alongside y'all.
Yeah, no, same here. Jeff said
this is what happens. You guys getting into this weird shit, like Sensei.
For the first half of the year, Jeff was going like, "Hey, season 2 of OA is really good," and I'm like, "I didn't watch season 1." And he's like, "Dude."
Yeah,
this is
one of the most.
And again, whenever y'all say
seen.
Kyle show, I believe y'all. So I go into it. I'm like, yeah, they know what I like. And y'all are usually right. And you were really right about this one, Jeff. The most. Octopus shows up and fucking telepathically.
We're still working our way to that show.
Yeah. I've got it up there pretty high.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, why are we talking about it now?
So, sorry, Mindhunter was Kyle's number 8. So, JD, what's your 8?
No, that was my number 8.
Oh, wait. That was your number 8?
Yes. Yeah, Mindhunter was Kyle's 9. And then we synced.
No, my number 7 was my number.
We were on your number 8.
My number 7 is
my number 8?
Your number 8.
Oh, my number 8 was Barry.
Or wait, Kyle, were you saying your number 7 was Mindhunter? Sorry.
Oh, so JD, everybody's name is the same now.
God damn it.
So JD, what's your number 7? Yeah.
I'm so sorry for just totally ignoring you for 10 seconds as you're saying exactly what needed to be said.
No. That's not.
Barry is my number 7.
Oh, that got pushed for my number 9.
Barry.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my number 8. Man, all of us had in our 10.
Wow.
Fucking killers.
We did it, guys. We actually did it. Yeah.
I totally farted and I thought it was going to be a shark and it wasn't. So just wanted to let
That's
everybody
good
know
for
that.
at least 2 people on the podcast and 1 dog.
I'm going to wave at
Right
my
now.
dog.
There you go. Fucking.
Fuck
I don't
it.
care. Yeah, this season, just like every other season, has been progressively fantastic.
Season. Yep.
The previous other one season, the whole gamut. No, it's just good characters, and they're all flawed for the most part, and you see where they're coming from. And NoHo Hank is one of my favorite fucking things.
Same here.
Ever.
Batty.
Ever.
Batty.
Batty.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go train my guys, Batty.
It's so good, man. Just everything about that whole
What was the
dichotomy of that character is phenomenal.
What was the episode of where the hitman was trying to kill him, and the girlfriend was there, and he's trying to play it
he's in the
off,
bedroom,
and it's it may be
he's
my
in the
favorite.
bedroom, and there's
He just
bullets.
played it off like nothing happened.
But
yeah.
his face is so wearing it, he's not playing it off coolly with his face,
No,
oh my god,
not at all. There's bullet holes in the wall and the pillows and everything.
Oh my god, and he's just sitting there hoping she doesn't notice, and she doesn't because she's so self-involved in her own mess, It's good,
Right.
It's so good.
But I loved her arc too.
Me too,
though.
yeah.
From taking her material to somebody who wanted to make her a superhero, some vagina superhero or whatever.
Yeah,
he was
weird.
trying to be super surface level, take brownie points for being feminist about it.
Right.
And it's that's not what we were. That's not. She was that's not what I was
anybody
trying to do.
wants. Yeah.
I love that story. And I love. I mean, obviously this is in my 10 because it has my favorite episode of television ever.
Oh,
One of my favorite episodes.
Oh my god, yeah,
grocery
the
store
little girl,
karate girl.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
karate girl. Yeah.
Jesus
Bill
Christ.
Hader directed
That happened after Game of Thrones, and I was
Right.
still y'all, but Barry though.
Yeah.
right.
No. What
Action.
episode of Game of Thrones
And then
was
it's
it,
an
though?
agent
Was it
from the Matrix, 'cause
Was
of
it
course it is.
the Night King fight episode?
Might have been.
I remember it being a big episode because I remember
Was
that.
it after
I remember
Arya killed the Night
No, but I
King?
remember that post. Jeff was yeah, the Night King fight was cool, but that Barry episode though, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It kind of blew my mind. I was because I saw it on Twitter first,
And,
people were
Hader
"Yeah, but did y'all see
directed that.
Barry?" And I was like, "Come on, get out of here! Barry's fine." And then I watched the episode, and I was like, "Oh, well, fuck me!" That
No,
was
Hader directed.
Yeah, he
that.
directed
Yeah, I
that.
think
Yeah,
so.
That
yeah.
was
And that was
amazing.
supposed to be, honestly, that entire episode's conceit was supposed to be just an intro to an episode.
Yeah.
And it was to the point where it just kind of spiraled out of control. The more that they wrote about
But that's
it,
good- that's
it
so
had,
good.
it
That's
had to be
true.
its own
That's
episode.
how you
so good.
create stuff, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. They let it be its own self-contained thing, it's a short film.
Yeah. Don't put it into a box. Let it breathe.
It's so fucking brilliant.
Great.
I love that episode. And then the last 2 episodes were stressful as fuck.
Yeah.
And it
What
was great.
happened?
Yeah.
That cliffhanger, dude.
Yeah.
I'm I have no fucking idea
Whoa.
what's gonna happen.
I got
and-
chills thinking
Barry's my
Yeah,
honestly.
it's one of my favorite shows ongoing right now. It's one of those shows where it's yeah, we're just not coming back. I'd be you guys hate people. That's
Yeah.
you
hate
just
people in the shows they
create these
watch.
things
Yeah.
that people love, and you're no more. It just.
They'd be.
So I'm
they'd
super
be
glad we're getting more of that show.
So dumb to get rid of that. It's a perfect Sunday night.
It
show.
really is. Yeah.
Perfect. Because you could throw it after anything. You could throw it after Westworld if you want to line it up with that. And it's, I think they did originally the first season.
They might
They
have.
did. Yeah, I thought
along
so.
the ran after the second season of Westworld.
But I feel like Barry's not going to come back till the fall. Maybe.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so either. Yeah.
It could very well just
It
be
may
out
be
there as
off
its
this
own
whole year.
thing without a
Maybe
lead in. It
2020.
doesn't really need
They
a lead
may
in
Atlanta
there,
it
but-
and wait 2
Yeah.
years. I don't know. I don't give a shit if they do.
I
Yeah.
don't either.
mean-
yeah. I think that
Yeah,
show's
it's
so great.
I'll just take it when you give it to
I
me.
just
Yeah.
want it to be
Yeah.
written and created on its terms. I don't care how long it takes.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
So my number 7 was pushed from earlier. It was Sex Education.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Had that high in my 10.
So I'm almost done with this current season, which is kind of refueling a lot
I mean,
of
that's
the
fine.
love
That's
for.
not what we're ranking it about, though. We're ranking it from last season.
No, I'm just saying watching it again is making me think back fondly on the
Jeff.
first season
I
quite a
hate
bit.
you.
Don't bring up
For
second
making me
season at
technical.
all. Why?
We're not
why
talking
would
about
you
second season,
even
JD.
Say anything about second season.
I'm just gonna fucking leave.
No, I'm just.
I don't have to deal with this.
No,
shit.
I'm putting out
Like-
English Jeff is.
I do love, yeah.
No, it's just being
I do
back
love
in that
revisiting
world,
the
man.
character-
It's fresh
Hey,
because this
and
was
I'm
a
glad-
January show last
I'm
year.
actually really
Like-
happy that we're recording this now because we've already all seen. Well,
No,
you're still
I
part
have
through,
2
but
episodes
we
left.
still all seen the second season for the most part, And it's a great season.
So great.
It's a really great season. I don't think it compares to the first season because some of the first season shit was like heartbreaking, making me cry type of shit.
This is more awkward and out there.
I feel like I agree with Jeff. Like, and I'm not feeling as much this season in terms of like those big moments. But like, I don't know if it pales in comparison. You know, I feel like that's dropping down way in quality.
It's like way worse.
I think it's a really good follow up to a really good one off idea, and I know for a fact Netflix is going to cancel the show. I know it. I'm telling you, I feel it in my bones. In 2 months, we're going to hear, that show's not coming back. And I'm like, I thought everybody watched this show. And it's going to be one of those situations all over again.
And not to mention that, I mean, there's a cliffhanger season 2.
A huge cliffhanger. Nothing gets resolved.
A huge cliffhanger.
Nothing gets resolved.
And so, and the show is got representation across the board for people that like that type of shit, which I do. When it's
Maeve is memeing too.
When it's just Maeve is
in the plot, some memes.
Well, it makes sense. It's high school in this era. Like that's what kids they're experimenting. They're evolving.
Yeah, exactly.
Sexuality is a fluid thing.
That's what I really like about second season, which is why I kind of like. It's by no means as good as the first seasons, but like that's why I kind of put it up there with like this is just a great follow up because like it's really addressing a lot of like current day sexualism themes. Not sexualism's not the right word, but like themes about like sex and how people like interact with sex and stuff like that, especially at that age. It's just things are not the same as when we were in school. Like they're just not, and
that's the age where it's the most difficult to talk about.
Well, and that's the thing, and like having someone there who's talking about it in such a freeing way, like and it helping so many people, like it's just like, dude, we didn't have that growing up, I
think that's the underlying point too, is that you've got two people who are the focal point of all these sexual discussions, right? Like people go to them for advice, and you see that these people have no fucking idea how to put any of their advice into practice for themselves. And it just shows that it's not somebody telling you what to do, it's having that dialogue to make the right choice for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the show is excellent at promoting.
That's really all what therapy is too.
Because that's what therapy is too. Like that person doesn't have their life together. You want to know why? Because they're a fucking human being.
Well, and I love that part of it as well, is that she's going to school every day, giving everybody advice while she's having a failing relationship because she's afraid of commitment and stuff like that.
Yeah, like because she's afraid of commitment. Absolutely.
This show is there's a lot going on in this show, man.
I don't mean to take away from what season 1 did because I still haven't talked about my favorite episode from it, which is one of my favorite episodes I saw last year. But season 2 has like my favorite arc of that guy who was like the bully. Me too. In season 1.
Okay, so with him and everything with Trombona and all that, like him kind of warming up to him a little bit. But I love how he stood up back to him because I'm after the party episode. I saw the party episode.
And that's good. Yeah, when he goes out there and he's, you won't even hold my hand and stuff like that. It's a major moment in their entire arc. And I'm not saying this guy's like a great actor because like he's not being asked of much, but like he has such like effective facial expressions,
He does,
And like really I get drawn in so much. It doesn't even matter what he's saying because like people
when
like
he's
that.
being vulnerable.
Well, exactly, but people like that who are really just like I'm just trying to look strong and look manly and stuff like that, and like I don't know, and like this identity crisis, like it was really good for his arc. I really enjoyed it. So.
And he's a spitting image of the guy that plays his dad too. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, it's insane.
Me the fuck out.
How much
I would think that it was him in makeup or the old guy being de-aged. If you convinced me of that.
It's
like
you gotta give the casting department all the awards in the world because especially because of like Maeve. Especially because of her, and her friend, the more innocent girl, with
the buck
teeth,
with the teeth,
her and bully guy are dating.
I got wanked on with a cake on the bus. And I love how she just writes it off as this not big thing at all, and then it dictates her behavior for the whole season.
And then the girl,
which is so true,
the very attractive, very popular girl.
Oh, that ends up sleeping with Otis at the party.
Oh my god!
You guys, again, we're reaching back into like weird things that like made my life. It was just like, whoa, that stuff was really like.
Yeah, I felt that with the girl I dated from another high school. It was kind of like, why are you're a cheerleader? Why are you
Dude,
with me?
What is this?
Me.
What is
I
this?
play
Angle
Pokemon,
here.
and you're like a cheerleader. Don't.
Yeah,
What are you doing
what's going on?
I lived that life, and like,
Yeah.
it kind of started like that too, where it's just like, we kind of hooked up at a party. Like, what do we do from here?
And it goes
Right.
back to, like you said, like how much things have changed and how much they haven't.
Nothing's changed. But
Almost nothing has changed.
Same.
Yeah, just
same
technology is there.
different
That's the only
application.
thing.
That's it.
I was gonna say my favorite episode that I saw all year, one of them, in general, all of TV, was the abortion episode.
Yeah,
I'd never
And
seen it framed like that.
That's a weird thing to say, but
Yeah.
I get it because it was so well done.
Yeah, I'd never seen it framed like that, where it was just kind of like it wasn't taking a side. It was just kind of like it is what it is, and
Yeah.
you're either going to be there for somebody or not.
Right.
I'd never seen it framed like that. I got really emotional at that episode.
Yeah.
That was
Dude,
really,
I
really
really liked
fucking
that. I
good.
forgot all about that episode.
Yeah.
I really liked that episode.
Yeah, that killed me.
Yeah.
There's nothing
'cause,
like
I mean,
that.
I know what I would do in that
Second
situation,
season.
but I don't think
The
a lot of
second
people
season
would do
pales
it
in
over still.
comparison. You're right, Jeff. That episode is so good. There's nothing like that in the second season. There isn't.
Yeah.
No, nothing
Well,
has the
'cause
emotional weight.
that does make you, like JD was saying, like I don't know what I would do in that situation. And
Yeah.
that's like the hallmark, I guess, of like a great episode or movie or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
you start
You
asking
don't
yourself,
know where
what
you
would
would be
you
if you
do
put
to
yourself
somebody
in
that
it.
means so much to you
Right.
that's in that situation.
Right.
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It would just have to be an in the moment thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That episode really fucking wow. That
See, and
That
that's,
rocked me.
That's what I meant in the point that you chastised 10 minutes ago. Is that
Too late.
watching this now has made me remember how much I loved that shit. Sorry. How much I loved this back in January of
Watching
last
it
year.
now.
Watching it right
Okay,
now.
Hawkeye, chill
You
out.
go back to January and you talk to him. No, it's just, dude, it's so easy for January anything to get lost in these lists. And it
losing
happens
my
to
shit.
all of us.
Yeah, it does.
How many times have, other than like Annihilation, have we all been like, that's going to be my number one script for the rest of the year?
It's 1917 this year. I'll tell you that.
Then we get to the end of the year and it's like, yeah, it's my 17, no big deal. Like,
It's crazy. 1917, 5-star movie for me. Les Miserables, the new Les Mis, which is not even based on it's not even an adaptation of the novel.
yeah,
That's a 5-star movie for me.
yeah.
It's a French
So
movie.
here we are.
Gentlemen.
Here we are.
Yeah.
2020. Now
Yeah.
that's the fucking line.
Yeah.
You know, now
Yeah.
I'm gonna be talking
Like-
about those at the end
Right.
of the year.
But there's gonna be things that come up and
Yeah.
eventually 'cause,
Tenet.
I mean, as much as we try to avoid
Tenet.
it, recency bias
Tenet.
is
Just Tenet.
it rides like Venom, but it's like Tenet.
It's a palindrome. Tenet.
Bring your
I'm
son.
saying
we
two
got
different
son.
words. Tenet. Okay, sorry.
Got Robbie Patton, and I'm having a Patton.
Battens and blattens and bat.
Slapping him, macking him, slapping him, mapping him. Cuckoo slapping him, mapping him.
I have no more wine. I have no more wine. Can I have a glass?
Yeah, please.
Fuck yes.
Look how
Oh
much
my
Jameson there
God.
is. There's 3/4 Jameson left.
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
drunk as I get tonight.
Bless you.
Oh my God, we were right about us being gone by number 3. So that's why sex education is so high for me, especially because of that particularly powerful.
I'm glad that
episode.
I don't know how that didn't end up in my top 10 to be honest, or my top 20. Like that's another.
I mean, it ended up in their period, so I mean, I think we're good. We're good. In your top 20.
It's
or
not
whatever?
top 20,
Right?
but it should have been. That's my
So you
meaning.
hate-
No.
you hate-
It should have been.
you hate
No, this
teenagers.
isn't a catch-22 thing with you guys. So this is a. I really enjoyed that.
We hated Catch.
I know.
22, right?
We talked about it.
Hey, here's the catch.
If you actually go back to the next episode, everybody, you'll hear both of them talk about how much they hate that show.
I hated it so much that I didn't even force rank it at 22. I put it at 24, and it should have been force ranked at 22.
It should have been. It should have been number 12, but whatever.
Thank you,
So
sir.
we gotta go to number 6. Number 6. Yeah. Kyle, was ist dein Nummer
Oh
6?
man, this is where y'all start making fun of me. It's The Witcher.
I mean, Kyle,
No.
let me pause. Let me hit
Okay.
pause. Y'all are gonna make fun of me like crazy for my number 6. So it's all good.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I like how you're like, no, Kyle, I'm not gonna make fun of you. You're gonna make fun of me. So I'm still waiting for the making fun of.
Mine is Jeff Cuck, like all over. Yeah, I am cucky as fuck, man.
Okay, me too. I have read these books. I have played these games.
I didn't know you'd read the book. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big fan of The Witcher, dude. So people hate this show because, okay, first off, one of the most watched shows of the year. One of the most popular shows of the year, one of the most meme shows of the year. This is high fantasy, Polish fantasy. How the fuck this is reaching mass appeal makes no sense to me. So I want to say that first. I want to point that out first. I have no idea how this is so popular. I'm very happy it is. I'm super happy it is.
Same.
But I have no idea how it's so popular.
I think it's filling that Game of Thrones need for a lot of
maybe
people.
It is. I really don't know. I know you and I were talking about it earlier. I hate when people compare these shows. I'm just like, what? Because
yeah.
No, but I get what you're saying. So I'm not like
it's people are using it to fill the need even
100%. Like they're just trying to find anything fantasy, you know. And it's just like, this show is just like not filling that Game of Thrones void for me. Yeah, you mean that show that was on for 10 years? Yeah, it's not gonna do that in the first season.
Right.
I will say about this show, it does have a wacky timeline, like the way that it's telling its story, and it's just like, I hope you're paying attention.
I love that.
Me too.
Well, he
Thank
fucking
you, Jeff.
spoiled it for
you.
me.
Thank you so much. I will say,
Battery Boy's like, you wouldn't even know it's a three timelines until you watch it, and I'm like, I haven't.
Well, there are major moments where they truly just don't make sense. And let me just explain a couple. But like Jeff and I are on the same page, so I will unexplain it right afterwards. There is a moment where whenever we all know the toss a coin to your Witcher at this point, right? Everybody, we all know that song, Jaskier, which is Jaskier, excuse me, which is Dandelion in the original version of the. We translated it to not be a gay name, I guess, and I mean gay as in the meaning of that word. Cause seriously, he's supposed to be kind of like I'm serious. He's supposed to be kind of like this like flamboyant like flower boy, you know, like it's like that's kind of what his personality is.
Whatever, dude. Dig your hole.
No. But if you listen to his word, if you listen to the lyrics of all of his songs are about his dick. All of them, I swear to God, and like we can talk. I'll show you all a video. It's really good. All of his songs are about his horn awaking in the morn. Stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Send me that dick vid, bro.
I will send you that dick vid. Again, I'm a big fan of like this whole series or whatever. And like Jaskier is a giant womanizer. And when you meet him, he's young. He's young and he's making a name for the Witcher after he murdered that poor girl in that town and everyone hated him. And he became the Butcher of Baskier or whatever it's called. So people hated him. So like he changed his entire identity with that, like with the bard music and everything like that. Well, later when they go and fight the dragon, or they're trying to look for the dragon, like 12 years have passed since the time that like the Witcher Geralt has met Dandelion or Jaskier, and the only mention that they say of it to make it mention is Yennefer goes, "Hey there, you've got terrible crow's eyes." But you're supposed to be like, "Oh, time has passed."
Right.
But the thing is that they do that. They put stuff in the dialogue that goes, "Hey, time has passed. Like you look old as shit.
Yeah.
You look like garbage."
They always go back when the battle of blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Happened,
If you're paying attention to like the vernacular, which I get is kind of confusing for fantasy stuff because it's just made up words, you will realize that the story is completely told out of order and not for no reason. By the time that final hug happens, I'm sorry, JD, if you haven't seen it, there's a hug that happens between people. Like it's earned and like
spoilers on hugs.
Yeah, there's hugs. Sorry.
How dare you?
Greta Thunberg. How dare you?
Sir?
But yeah, I love how it's not that it's God, I don't want to call it seamless. I mean, that's probably a reason why it's not in my like list or whatever. But I don't know. It feels like a different. It's kind of like here's a good comparison. It's kind of like Arrival, Because I remember being in the theaters,
Yeah.
and people were understanding what was happening in that movie at different times, and I could audibly hear them.
Which
going,
is fucking meta as shit, if you think about it.
Yeah, it
I
really
get that.
is.
Yeah.
But that's what Witcher is. Is like
I
people
get
were
that too.
understanding what was happening.
No,
at different
I
times.
totally buy that. That like, as you're watching it, like people are probably picking up on different things and different words and different whatever. Like
There's not like it's not like The Prestige where it's like one clue where the whole audience gets it. It's like slowly happening throughout the
right,
movie.
right.
Yeah.
I get that absolutely. And they say they're gonna fix all these
previously.
problems in the second season, like so people aren't as confused. You have to remember, guys, like his story is a like book of short stories, so it's like.
Yeah.
It's not a coherent novel, you know. It's.
Well, I was gonna say like
It's-
the timelines have already converged by the. And this isn't really that much of a spoiler for JD, but
I've seen 2 episodes.
But the timelines all converge by the end of the
They
season,
do,
so
yeah.
it's kinda
So
like,
going
Right.
forward, you can
But-
stay on one, but they're like, yeah,
But I'm already watching it knowing that there are 3 separate timelines because of fucking
more or
Battery
less,
Boy.
yeah. 3 at least, I would say.
Because when he said that, I didn't talk to him for like a week after he said that. Because he's like, yeah, and you wouldn't even know it until you've watched it. And I'm like, yeah. Okay.
It's funny because like you'll be starting the 3rd episode and you're like, oh, this is the earliest in the entire timeline. You're like, oh, this
Right.
is gonna be a weird show.
Now, in the first 2 episodes, I feel like I've seen 2 timelines, but have I seen 3
You've seen
in the
2,
first 2?
for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, because I know there's about the
You've
okay.
seen 2 for sure.
I've seen 2. All right, cool. All right, then I'm keeping them pretty well.
Yeah, you're good.
You'll once I got further in, because it did take me a little bit longer than a normal Netflix show would take me.
Yeah.
I'm still halfway through The Crown, man, and that
Yeah.
season dropped in December too. So
Yeah.
like, what am I still doing?
Right.
But The Witcher was something that like once I got past episode 4 or 5 or something like that, I was just like, okay, I'm definitely gonna finish this shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, it gets so fucking good.
It really
I
does.
want to watch it now, but I can't help but feel like because it's so action focused that I am shorting myself by watching it on such a small screen.
I
And when
get
I
that.
know that like
watch it
the
again,
real setup
yeah.
is a month away. Like at this point, what am I losing by holding out?
That's true. I
You're
get you.
fine. You're
Because
I
I'm
get
not
you,
going to
yeah.
get to the games until I'm all caught
And
up. I'm not going to get to Witcher 3.
Hey, spoilers on the games. Never gonna get to them.
Yeah, you're never gonna. Yeah, I'm
Never
still
gonna
waiting
do
for
that
Jeff
shit.
to finish the first area of that
Biggest game
so-
possible? Never going to do that.
Yeah. I own Witcher
dude,
3 on 3 platforms.
I bought it 3 times and never fucking played it. That's insane. I've seen it pop up on so many greatest, like all the.
You guys,
Watch
no,
Dogs shit
no,
from the end
no,
of
no.
the
Can
year,
I just
end of
say,
decade,
and this
talks
is
about
not
this
me
game,
just
I'm
being like a Witcher cut. Like Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games. It is in my top
I know.
5 greatest games.
Well,
of
dude,
all
okay.
time.
I take that like seriously.
You're not. I mean,
and
I wouldn't
I
just
know
take
I'm
that
gonna love
seriously,
it.
but like the industry ranks that very highly among one of the best games ever made.
People
So-
think Breath of the
it
Wild
really
is
is.
somehow better than that, and I find that like based on.
I mean,
consensus from
I don't
friends
think
and
it's
stuff,
better,
like-
but I think that I
that's what I'm
understand
saying.
why the industry thinks it's better because like it will 1,000% be more influential to that genre than
Yeah.
Witcher 3 will ever
And-
be. Witcher 3 is really
and I
like, hey,
respect
you
that,
know
like-
what this like whole genre's been doing for a while, open world. We're gonna do that,
Yeah.
but the best anyone has ever done. And Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild was like, hey, we're gonna do something different. You know, so that's that's it.
And coming fresh off my first run through Breath of the Wild, like I'm just craving that open world, that big breathing world thing again, and I have it in Witcher 3 just sitting there, and so I want to dive into that because I feel like it's been a big
The
oversight.
Witcher
I'm just
3
never
is one of
gonna
those
fucking tell
games
about
that,
it,
like, when you're playing
Ever.
it, like, you're playing side missions and you're going, these side missions are better
are the missions.
better than
Yeah.
any main mission in other games ever. Like, it like, that game blows my mind
Yeah.
on every level. And, like, it's so... And then, like, you're like, hey, now we got to go to Skellige. You know that whole map you've been, like, exploring? There's a whole other one twice as big.
That's crazy, dude. That was my
over
favorite.
there, you fuckwad. It's Vikings
That
theme.
was my favorite
Like, it's
part.
so great. Like, it's so good. Like, when I got to that island, I was just like, fuck off. Like, there's no way I'm going to get to everything. Like, and I never did. Like, I never did every mission in that game. I'm doing it on my Switch version right now, but, it's, that game is huge, dude. Like, that game, I skipped maybe a third of the missions in that game, and it still took me about 190 hours to beat that game with DLC.
Fucking fuck.
I mean, dude, I put 150 into fucking Breath of the Wild and I felt like it barely even made a dent.
I don't even know. They didn't. Sorry, what?
Didn't even make a
Excuse me?
dent.
Excuse me?
Hey,
Like,
we
in my
respect
time.
our cult leader, Chris D'Elia, on this
course.
podcast, okay?
course.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I just felt like we did enough with the Eminem shit to kind of let it go with that.
Dan. Yeah.
But honest to God, dude, I mean, that game like fucking ruled my life for the better part of 2 months. And
I mean, it's crazy.
just like Red Dead did before.
I can
Like,
sit
that's
here
my
and-
favorite type of game.
I can sit here and tell you guys that I could never imagine myself putting that many hours into a game, but I'm pretty sure I beat GTA 5 campaign like 6 times.
Yeah. So
It's the same
Yeah.
fucking
He's played the
thing.
same game 5 times instead of one game once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But Witcher's a really good show.
I really like The Witcher, and I've been on track this whole conversation.
Yeah. We have 100%.
Hey, if there was ever a point to logically segue into video games, it was while we were talking about The Witcher.
Yeah, I know, and if we had done it,
I
you
was
know,
about
this
to
would've
be
been a
like,
good
how
time
did
to
we
do it.
even get there? But it's actually pretty easy.
I love Henry Cavill for the role.
Yeah,
we haven't
no, can I
really
just
brought
say,
that up yet, but he's
Henry
great.
Cavill has really changed my mind since Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's where I was just like, oh, I think I like you. It's not Superman, 100%. It's not The Immortals. It was
Right.
it was Man from U.N.C.L.E. for me, and I think him being such a big gamer, such a huge fan of this series, read the books, played the games, this is not. Passion project is a loaded term in this industry. Like, that can turn into poison for a lot of people, and this is not. This is not poison. Like, this is like. It's all the things are working for this show, and I think the second is going to be better. The action, I was telling JD this earlier, the action is better right now than Game of Thrones was at this time.
Oh my god, dude!
Totally.
Like,
in the first episode alone,
even the
he's like,
CG and like everything, like the use of just like monsters and like that, like. We waited almost 4 seasons to get stuff that looked like this on this level, you know? So it's like,
True.
So just to say that and I hate comparing these two shows because like one's a political fantasy and one's like a dark Polish fantasy. They couldn't be more different. But like, because they're a fantasy, there is a reference point, and I just feel that like if you're looking for something more action oriented, but still has all the deep lore, but you need something really, really kind of mature too, like. That's The Witcher. Those are all the ingredients. There's nothing better out there in terms of fantasy right now.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that. I would even rank it higher than slightly, ever so higher than Game of Thrones.
Ooh, the last season.
If we're comparing it to last year's, if we're comparing last year's shows.
Yeah. Which we are.
Seasons,
That's literally what we're doing this episode.
Right. And it would be lower for me on my rankings because I've just seen so fucking much. I mean, Succession would have been my 21. Like, literally, I cut Succession. Like, that was like the last thing I cut for me. And I fucking adore that show.
Yeah, you've talked about it a lot.
Oh my god, I love. Fuck off.
Yeah,
sorry. That's Brian Cox saying "fuck off" is just the peak of that show, and he says it a lot. But if I were ranking the two, it's just Witcher had just like a more consistent trajectory, and I love. I don't know. I just love the the action you talked about was just so fucking top notch, and Henry Cavill legit doing those stunts. I gotta commend him.
He really like that. Like, he's not doing exactly Gerald's voice because like everyone can't do everybody's impression of a voice, and he's doing a really good job doing a really good version of the Gerald that we know from video games like that.
Yes.
It's very
it's badass enough.
And I don't want to dwell on about it, but like very close to the books. Things that like are just mentioned in the book are like overly explained in the show. The reading the books and watching the show are companion pieces, everybody. So it's just like one's not better than the other. It's like one will go more into depth on one thing, and the other will go more into depth on other things. Like the whole fall of that whole kingdom that Ciri is from, that's mentioned in the books. We see it in the show. The whole like sorcerer fight at the end, the big finale, you know. That's talked about in the books. We see it in the show, and it's epic. It's so fucking epic, that whole last fight. It's so fucking awesome. It's really cool, everybody. Like if you haven't checked it out yet, which you have, because
and it's not. I would argue that it's not. Yes, it's very popular, but I would argue that it's not. I don't even know what I was gonna fucking say. Fuck it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Jesus
It is
Christ.
live.
Yeah, more or less, because I don't edit. Except for the whole gaming conversation that we totally didn't have because you guys.
No, the 20 minutes of fucking a game that y'all never.
Yeah. So that was your number 6. So JD, what's your number 6?
Let's figure that the fuck out, won't we?
Unlock your phone and figure it out.
It is Legion.
Legion.
We are pushing that,
We are pushing.
my goodness.
We are
I've
pushing.
never done drugs before, you know?
So this is where we.
You're
get
right.
to,
I haven't. Coming to see you. We're gonna work
We're
on
gonna
it.
work.
Where we
gonna
get
get you
to
through
build up to my cucky number 6 pick, which aligns with my general taste in things. Dark Side of the Ring is my.
No,
See,
I
didn't
really
even
like that you're
factor
talking about this.
documentaries in.
I did.
And I loved the fuck out of that, dude.
Yeah.
You know I love the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I know you did.
My
See,
family
I was-
lived
this
down the
is-
street
this
from
is
the
one
Von
that I was
Erichs.
talking about
Like,
that maybe one person didn't watch, and that was Kyle, of course.
Yeah.
Because he hates good shows. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, obviously I love this show because it's about fucking wrestling.
yeah, but it's about the side. It's, I mean, obviously the title, Dark Side of the Ring. But
Yeah.
it's shit that it's that perfect blend of stuff that you know about and that stuff that you're like, what?
Yeah.
Fucking
I didn't
what?
know.
Like, somebody got
Did you know
murdered in
about
front of
Gino?
Gino Hernandez?
Yes. Did
No,
you-
I
didn't
had
know who
no
that
idea
was.
about that story, and that's
Yeah.
a Texas story, Houston
Yeah.
specifically.
And we still didn't know
I knew about
it
the Von
despite
Erichs.
being here.
I knew about the
Yeah.
Randy Savage, Macho Man Savage. All that
No.
shit.
I knew about Macho Man, but I didn't know about his dynamic with Miss Elizabeth and how.
Yeah, I guess
how
I didn't
toxic
know
that
about the
was.
controlling nature
Yeah.
and how their personas directly reflected what was going on in their personal life.
Right.
Like, I didn't get any of that.
And then they
at
showed
all
footage after she
until this.
died of him being interviewed, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry right now."
Yeah.
Like, it's so fucking good.
That
dude.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
all
glad
the
they
other
covered
stuff,
the Montreal screw job stuff.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I feel like I know the ins and outs of that story.
Yeah.
And that show
Still
covered it in a
managed
way
to
that made me
teach you
go,
something.
"Oh, this feels new."
Yeah.
Because they interviewed both Jim Cornette and Vince Russo, who were both on the creative team
Right.
at that time. That should have been, according to their own side, should have been in the know on that story.
Right.
Should have been in the know about
Right.
all the entire thing about Vince ringing the bell and screwing Bret Hart out of the title, even though he was supposed to keep the title and then forfeit it on Raw like the next night.
Right.
He rang the bell and Shawn got the title.
Yeah.
And Vince and Jim both are like, "Oh, it was my idea."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Vince Russo, sorry. The guy who's like, bro, it was my idea, bro.
Yeah.
I love just seeing Jim talk shit. Jim Cornette isn't the greatest of guys. In fact, he's such an attention whore, especially in today's landscape of wrestling. Like, most of wrestling does not fucking like that guy. Like, it's just anything he contributes to the wrestling right now, they just fucking hate him.
Yeah.
But that episode was fucking hilarious because it ends with him going, "When I die, I want my wife to,
Yeah.
I don't know, piss on his grave for me or
Right.
whatever the fuck." He's
Right.
just saying crazy shit about Vince Russo. He fucking hates Vince Russo, hates him so much. But that episode did reveal that at least if we're to believe them at their word, that Vince Russo was like, "Yeah, it was my idea." I mean, both of them said it was their idea, so I guess it's not really fair. But the fact that both of them were saying that we brought this up,
Right.
that's more progress than we ever got on that story.
Right.
Before then it was just kind of a mystery. Like, both Brett was saying,
Yeah, you
he
got the
fucked,
direct account,
and then you
even
got
if it's
Vince
a
McMahon
misdirect.
saying it was my call, which
Yeah.
ultimately I guess it is Vince McMahon's call. But
Yeah.
who did it come from? I'm more inclined to believe that it came from Jim. No, yeah, Jim Cornette. I think because he's the old school guy who says that the heel wins in the hometown hero's country.
Right.
It's a surefire, heat magnet.
Right.
You're going to get crowds reacting to that. I love that episode so much, dude.
That was good.
Yeah.
The Madam, what the fuck is her name?
I don't remember.
The God damn it. That was one of my favorite episodes
Really?
because I did not know about
Fabulous
that character.
Moolah?
Fabulous Moolah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And you know what's great about that episode? Because that's another thing on wrestling Twitter that, not just Twitter, but on every media in general, that they just paint her with this broad brush. But they interviewed several people that
Yeah.
worked with her
Yeah.
that were like, that's not really the story. I
Yeah.
mean, that's not the Moolah I knew.
Right.
That's not how I felt. I didn't feel taken advantage of.
Yeah, but that's how a lot of people that are taken
Yeah.
advantage of feel.
Yeah.
They are made specifically to feel like they're not.
Yeah.
Because that person is so good at manipulation that they
Right.
have them
And
in a bubble.
what's funny about the
not
people,
to say objectively
the
one way or
people
another
that felt they didn't get
that's what
taken
happened,
advantage
but-
of by Moolah were people that I don't know the names of.
Yeah,
I saw them getting interviewed, and I was like, "Who are you? You're not in
Yeah.
wrestling.
that's true.
You haven't been on WWE. You haven't.
So
been...
it's maybe people that
So,
are kind of like swooping on a
They
pendulum
had
of a
one
narrative.
opportunity,
maybe.
and it was from Moolah, and that
Yeah.
was it. And that's a fucking fascinating as fuck documentary
it
series.
was.
And they're
I
coming
didn't
back.
know
They
about
get a
this
season
girl.
2. I'm
Really?
very excited. They interviewed Owen Hart's family. I
Oh,
cannot
shit.
wait, dude. I mean, they got an interview with Martha Hart, his
So,
wife, and
I
she
mean, are they
refused to talk to
specifically
WWE.
talking about
All
his-
about that.
his
That's
death?
amazing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, they're talking about his death.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like their key episode.
Holy
And
shit.
they took a screenshot and put it on Twitter of Martha Hart and I think son or stepbrother, something like that. But it's Martha Hart who refuses to talk about it with like WWE.
Yeah.
Refuses to give them the time of day because they want to induct him in the Hall of Fame. They've been wanting to do it for years.
Yeah.
But she gets in the way of that. Even though it's like a bullshit thing that Vince decides,
Yeah, no,
it's
Owen
still,
and
there's
Brett
still
are
a legal
brothers,
aspect
right?
of it. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so Brett has
Brett's
I mean,
fine. Brett's cool with WWE.
right.
He's good.
He's made,
But it's
somewhat
Martha
amends
Hart,
with them, but
and even Brett has been out. There's a lot of drama there. Brett has been outspoken to saying that Martha needs to come to her senses, talk to WWE, water under the bridge, blah blah blah.
Okay.
And Martha refused flat out. I mean, she
So
lost
he's
her
towing the company
She lost her
line,
fucking
and
husband.
she-
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's flat out for years refused to engage.
A husband that's on the road for 300 days of the year, and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. And then it's one bad stunt and he's dead.
are
He's
either
dead.
Brett's parents still alive? Brett and Owen's parents?
Stu's died. Stu is dead.
Yeah.
He is a renowned trainer of
Right,
wrestlers,
right. Well,
yeah.
he's obviously
Yeah.
the reason why they
But
got
Stu
into the business,
died a
but,
few years ago.
but their
several years
mom,
ago.
like, has she ever said anything about it?
I don't.
or-
She's not really in the spotlight
Yeah.
much, so I don't really know. But
And it's
I
just-
know
it's
that
just
Martha
crazy to
Hart. I know
have,
that they scored
like-
an interview with Martha Hart, and that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge.
Especially if she actually lets it
Yeah.
go.
I hope that they cover Jimmy Snuka too, because that guy killed somebody. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, there's so many crazy things.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
I
the Bruiser
loved.
Brody thing was like a huge thing
yeah,
too. Mick Foley narrated that.
Yeah.
But and also the what was the guy who killed his family or whatever?
Oh,
Benoit. Yeah, like
Oh man, they didn't even touch on that. I bet they're saving that for like
Season 3,
Well,
baby.
because
season.
that is like
That's a
season in and of itself because you've got
Yeah.
CTE, you've
yeah,
got
that's
just
a
all these angles
multifaceted
that
issue.
play
This
into
is
it.
not just a guy being a bad guy. This is a guy
And
who
he
was suffering
had
from
issues.
not only abuse but like brain injuries and like
yeah.
Now, that
he,
was one of the more fascinating things in the Aaron Hernandez documentary, which I know you watched. Kind
Not
of,
yet, no,
if
I
you've
haven't
watched
watched it
that
yet. I want to.
Hell, I've finished it.
Yeah, how fucked up his brain looked. And you're like,
That's the thing. Like
three.
wrestlers are jumping from turnbuckles and hitting their heads into
left
other
the
people's
game.
heads. Like they're
And that was before with Aaron Hernandez especially. That was before he went pro. He was having problems.
Right.
So
Well, his problem started when his dad died, like emotionally. But I mean, who knows when this
Injury-wise.
stuff physically starts?
Yeah.
Like where do you start monitoring for this? How do you monitor for it? Because
gotta figure that shit out, dude.
It's a 20-year-old kid that's
Yeah.
coming out of college that is like physically, you're just like nothing is wrong with this dude. He's
Yeah.
perfect. But up here, take a couple bad shots.
I feel like
just-
you're not.
does behavior
We don't ask enough questions as a
influence
society,
this at
man.
all?
You know, like
Like-
that's what it
yeah,
is.
we don't.
no
Like like
Especially with stuff like
figuring
that.
out stuff like that about people's personalities. That shit's not buried. You know, like you're two questions away from figuring something weird out about somebody, and like we as a
Oh,
society,
yeah.
we just don't care enough to ask enough questions. And
I think too with especially and this ties into the wrestling stuff too, like we are less inclined to question it when it comes to a wealthy
Or
athlete,
something
somebody that's in a
entertaining,
premier
whether it be
sport, because you're
sports or
like
something, yeah.
you're like, well, your life should be fucked up because you made $60 million doing this. Like this is the price you pay. But you look at a wrestler, and I'm not saying this is right, but people do that all the time.
It's not. And guess what? You know, and this connotation that wrestlers even make money, like wrestlers make shit for money. Unless you're The Rock,
they make jack shit, but they put their bodies and their minds through just as much, if not more. And that's what's crazy is that we still don't have that general societal awareness of what they're doing with respect to that.
Yeah, you guys know
people care about it with football.
Currently, the new hotness in wrestling is the Wednesday night wars between All Elite Wrestling and WWE NXT.
Sure.
Yeah,
NXT gets paid shit for money, and they have the best wrestlers, like some of them on the planet.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
so.
And that doesn't surprise me.
It's just
that,
shocking.
These are people that are on the roads like 250 to 300 days out of the year. You know, like the majority of the year, they don't see their family, they don't see their kids or significant other or anything.
Yeah. Well,
and also they're dealing with possible brain injury, and when they get injured, they get thrown pills, and they get addicted to pills. Like it's a dangerous gig, man. It's a really dangerous job. Like,
and this show is more about that era of medical care because
throw pills at it.
Great. I think there have been
Gio Hernandez threw enough pills in himself for.
But I think there have been great strides in that because there are several people that, I mean, if you have a hint of a concussion, you're out for fucking 6-8
They
months.
do it now.
You're
They do it now because we know
they give a shit now
care
because
now
of the controversy.
And there's
Absolutely.
awareness of it on a societal level. Like it's no longer this medical thing.
It's not
that's
okay
just kind
anymore.
of buried.
I know.
They
Wasn't
still pay people
was
for
it
shit, but it's
Benoit
not
kind of like
okay.
the final straws? Like, wasn't that like what we like?
One
It
of
was
them.
one of them. It's like we really need to figure this out. Like,
if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what the timeline is, but Benoit killing himself and his family was obviously like a much more tragic situation. But Junior Seau killing himself, the Chargers linebacker, it wasn't that far removed from when that
these
happened.
sports,
and then it's Michael Vick like 3 or 4 years later who's like training dogs to kill. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, and they've never linked that to CTE.
No, you can't. But him just being a football player, like he's probably taken some knocks.
The better example. The better example right now, this is going on like as we speak right now, is Antonio Brown, who was a wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He took a hit in 2016 or 17 from a defender named Vontaze Burfict. Just Google it, and it is one of the worst hits you've ever seen in your life. It is a helmet-to-helmet collision, and ever since then, this fucking guy has been a goddamn clown. He's been a basket case. And he might have been crazy before, and he might just be a diva, but it's probably CTE.
No, it is.
Yeah. You can trace his erratic behavior literally back to that moment.
Yeah.
And it's astounding to me.
This is crazy that, like, with 2 shows in a row, we're, like, off on different topics, but, like, I mean, they're related.
This relates,
because we're still talking about wrestling.
This is good.
And this just goes to show you that the psychology of what you do to yourself physically is... It matters. Like, none of these people in the dark side of the ring are what I would consider, in most of the stories, stable people. Yeah. They're all very erratic personalities. And
longevity. I mean,
absolutely in the industry.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, like Moolah's like a 60-year-old woman, and she's out there doing shit.
She was doing it until she died.
You're like, are you kidding me? It's astounding. Mick Foley is a good example for the guy's side of somebody that's just.
I mean, I'm glad we. I'm glad we talked about it further, but like Dark Side of the Ring, a show like this existing will definitely keep the larger industry as a whole on their toes.
Yeah.
When they have controversies come up. And it kind of, this is a tiny thing compared to CTE's type stuff, but it kind of makes the WWE especially pay attention to this type of shit. This is small grapes, but there was a women's champion went on a show and was like, we need to kind of get rid of the separation of men's and women's divisions because UFC doesn't do that. Yeah. Like UFC just goes, here's a bantamweight champion and then it's, Holly Holm or whoever, Ronda Rousey. They just call them the division that they're in. They don't say women's, they don't say men's. So WWE decided to start doing that like just 2 days ago.
Oh wow.
A day ago. More or less.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, they're paying attention to things people are saying.
Yeah.
And I think Dark Side of the Ring is one of those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I think if they're going to definitely make more episodes of this, but it's only going to benefit the wrestling as
and that's
a whole.
Good. That's what it should do.
Because it needs to change.
Yeah.
Because
it is one of those industries that, like, even though, like Kyle and I are loosely still, interested via you and what you say and what you relay and all that, like, I'm not actively paying attention. I feel like that's a lot of people. They just grow out of it and then move on.
And now is a good time to get into it on Wednesday specifically, but that's about it.
Yeah,
that's about it. Otherwise, it's hard to recommend Raw.
And that's kind of another thing.
Fucking stupid episodes.
Too, like, I'm all about clips, but like as far as the time investment and everything, like it's just not. The interest just isn't quite there across the board. But dude, if it ever got back to the way it was back in the heyday, I would be all about that shit. All about it, because I appreciate it for what it is.
We gotta. Goddamn, we're gonna be here for 16 fucking hours,
and we're still not even in our top 5.
Kyle,
yet.
What's your number 5?
We're only at number 5. Okay, that's.
Should we just record the top 5 later?
I push it. It's Legion.
Okay, yeah, that was a.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about. I'm gonna get some ice.
So Jeff hates Legion.
I might go get some ice when Jeff gets
I'm telling
back.
you guys, it was you two who were like, Kyle, you're not watching the show? I'm like, I don't have cable, guys. Stop asking me. You're like, Kyle, you need to be watching the show. And I'm like, okay. And I'm pretty sure I watched it. Were there 8 or 10 episodes? Do you remember?
It was
So I started at
it was short.
Episode 6 had just aired, and I watched episode 1 through 6. All right, so I didn't watch the full season all at once. And I remember catching up almost in, I think it was one sitting, maybe it was 2, and just going this may be one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite things to exist. There is nothing on TV.
It's so
that's
good.
like, hey, you want to know what it's like taking acid? It's like watching Legion. That's what it's like. Every season is so weird and crazy and wacky and cerebral. And I know you can't say any of those words. And smart. You can't say that either. It's all those things. This show is so ridiculous to me.
It's not smart.
It's not smart.
Sorry.
It's so well shot. It's so well conceived. Everything about this show is so perfect to me, and I have no idea why it's not my number 1. To be honest, it speaks to my level of weirdness and again the level of head scratching I want to be at the end of an episode where I'm just like, well, I was too dumb to get any of that. I love feeling that way. I really do.
Yep. We missed having you on the week-to-week train on this one.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, because I would just been chiming in every week, going like, "What the fuck?" I would have,
but that's what
I would have
like.
had nothing to input.
There's not that much to expound upon until you finally get to the end of the road, or at least a little way through it.
And the girl who can travel through time, the way they conceive that. The way that it's conceived,
the hallway of time, of course.
It
reminds me of the Matrix, with the hallway and the doors, and just
it's like, how do you perceive time travel? How do you do that? And then when they show it the way that they do in this show, you're just like, yes, of course. Of course, and you just buy into it, and it's so good, and her teeth start falling out because she's changing time too much, and there's demon time police that are coming after everybody. And
I love that. The way they execute that,
so good.
And not only the way that they executed it individually, they kept bringing it back.
It's creepy.
Everything with fucking Farouk and everything when they're trapped in the pictures in that the realm without time or whatever.
The world between time. Yeah.
It's just the world between time. Everything about it was just so.
Well, and when Farouk is explaining, he's like, "They can't get us here. We exist in a place that they cannot even fathom." And I'm just like, "Oh, right. I am." Right. So, the entire time watching that show, I have no idea what's going on. Hard as a rock, though. Right. Just can't believe
It made me like Aladdin a little bit more because the fucking the Sultan or whatever the fuck was Farouk from.
Didn't know that. You're blowing my mind right now. I'm pretty sure.
Well, you said that you said that the last time I said that. Well, so you did. You just forgot it.
What? You're blowing my mind right now. You're blowing my mind.
It's like this
doubly blowing my mind.
Everything has happened before. This will all happen again.
Groundhog Day, the podcast.
I can tell, but I'm envisioning him now. Yeah, man. You're absolutely right. In every sense of the word. That show is just. It's so interesting, and I'm along with Farouk. I don't know, because everyone's like, should we trust them? And I'm like, no. And then they're like, but should we?
like,
And
no,
I'm
but
like,
should you
I don't
trust
know.
David, though?
He's actually making
Like-
pretty good points, you know. I'm just a lot again. Like I feel like I'm trapped in this mystery with these characters, and we're all just staring at each other like John Travolta and like Pulp Fiction. We're like all of us, me and the characters, we're all in this ethereal plane, just confused about what's going on, and like that show is like literally watching an acid trip all sober. Like the way that they dilate time and the way that they do this, and I don't know any of this from experience. I'm just talking about stuff because
no, I can't wait to learn.
I don't know anything about any of that.
Totally go to
I'm
Colorado
just saying, from what I've read by Terrence McKenna.
Yeah, I want to read the same books.
It is very much like this. I
want to read the same books that the guy that hates
religion. I'm really painting myself into a corner here. Employees, I am your boss. You do not hear any of this. Anyways,
it's fine.
No, but nobody listens.
It's literally my mom listened to the show. That's it. And she doesn't. Wow. She's like,
I am sorry.
She doesn't. I promise you. She just says. Oh, okay. It's Vince. It's still just Vince. That's all it is. Hi, Vince. I still love you.
My mom listens to Better Than
Literally our number one fan, bud.
That's it.
I love the show. I love just that head scratcher moment at the show. Like when I finally caught up and I was able to share in that, like what the fuck that like stuff that you guys were swimming in for 8 weeks. You know. I felt so, I felt like I cheated a little bit, to be honest, you know? I felt like y'all were swimming in it and just dealing with it for so long, and I was just like, hey, I'm here!
It's one of those shows that just nowadays, I guess, I feel like the week-to-week aspect is so, it's just such a small part of what we actually get nowadays. Even though there's more and more platforms that are embracing it, and I like that. I like having that week to let that weird shit breathe. Just think on it, because it is think piece stuff. And the binge definitely, like, I mean, I've had that because I watched a show that we'll talk about later. I'm sure, Watchmen. You guys had that week to week shit, and it blew your mind for a week at a time.
Yep.
And I binged through it and I rushed through it and I'm like, that was amazing, but I didn't have any time to let any of that breathe.
There's a lot to marinate.
Like, letting it breathe is a crucial for the show.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't wait to go back and watch it again, knowing what I know and actually just kind of.
And that's exactly how I feel about season 3 of like if I had like the week to think about like every episode, like I feel
like Stranger Things.
No, what?
Were you talking
for Legion specifically? Yeah, it's like being able to feel that like what you're talking about, like, because I watched it. Remember, like I was catching up to you guys, like, so I watched 8 episodes in a row, and it's just like I didn't have time to think about what any of that meant. I was just like, okay, next episode.
See, I watched the first episode of Watchmen at one point close, and then it was like a month and a half before I picked up, and I rewatched episode 1, and then it was kind of a mini binge from there, like 2 episodes.
Well, in Watchmen, like you're like the first couple episodes, you're like, okay, and then by the last episode, you're like, I feel like someone just fucked my brain with a giant blue.
No, I did. I got there, and we'll get there. That's for sure.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I love the final season of Legion. I feel like they nailed.
Me too, and I feel like
it was so good. They knew it was the last one going into it. I feel like for a show like that, it makes a big difference. Like just embracing the end.
They knew exactly what they were
working
doing.
up to a
even with
point.
introducing a new concept like time travel. They knew
like the way that they showcase that. Like there's so many weird ways that they stylistically shot things to like portray like either time travel or just like the superpowers or whatever. That like by the time that like Legion or the guy who plays Beast, whatever his name is, he by the time he's like using his powers and like people are dying, and so, like it's so fantastic. Like it's so like this is the stuff I want when I'm watching like superhero shows, is like people using their powers to like literally disintegrate people and like blink people out of existence. Like we're a little tamed in the Marvel universe, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna beat him with my super strength, you know? Like I wanna. Like I love these like really wacky powers that Legion has, you know, and like I hope that I hope we get to dive into that more, you know, which we won't. Shows
totally.
It's
gone. Whatever.
Oh well, tough shit.
No, I make
that was my number 9
a movie
and
about astronaut peeing diapers.
5.
So.
No, that was my 6, and now we're on my 5. That was Kyle's 5.
JD, what's her 5 then?
It's the part.
The
Oh my god. So
that was my 11. Yeah.
Man, so this was another new love, like just binge to get caught up with the current season kind of thing, and I'm really glad I did, and then it ended. And then turns out that that's like a permanent thing, and I was very pissed off. Just kind of like what happened with Sense8.
Sense8, you got an ending, though.
We did get the movie, but it was one of those things.
We're not going to get that here. That's not going to happen.
No, it's probably not going to happen. This was cool, man. I like those characters. Like, if you would have told me that a goddamn dance-off to save the world at the end of season 1 was how that was going to go.
So, I know, dude. Yeah, if you would
just
explain that
moment,
to me,
though,
I'd been like, don't. Just
on
don't.
paper, it's the most ridiculous thing ever in a show.
Is.
Filled
It
with
really
ridiculous
is.
shit, but it works. Those characters really, man. I just found myself relating to them, and that was one of those early year weird things that just kind of stuck up on my list, and eventually Legion cropped up right next to it. It's just like, all right, I got a whole slot of weird here.
A sandwich of weird.
And I definitely agree, Kyle, that the trajectory of the show and the way that it went down and everything has definitely soured my opinion overall. But man,
if we roll back the tape, like you would only see me talking about like this is like one of the best shows. Like I swear to God, if we roll back the tape, that's how I was talking about it when I was watching season 2.
That meta ending was. Nobody could have predicted that.
She talks to trees, dude. She falls through the earth and the tree roots catch her, and like they talk to her. Like it's the dude. It's my weird, dude. Like that's my weird. Like sign me up for
so
that.
Fucking weird. So yeah, it's one of those things I feel like we're always going to want more of, and maybe one day we'll get it.
I hope so.
It'll catch.
Maybe we need to pay attention to who this creator or writer or showrunner is. I don't know. Like
I just feel like the days of like shows like Firefly that get slighted and so obviously screwed now from Jump Street are gone, just because there's so many good things out there to turn your attention to and watch. And I don't know, man. It feels like we're kind of in that time where like the shit that we think is good that maybe isn't appreciated by others, it's gonna get just lost in the fold.
Well, and like, man, this show could have been that expensive
except for
to make.
the rare thing like Sense8 where you get a movie.
Like, what was big budget about this show? Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. It was small budget.
I don't really know like why.
budget,
I don't know
high
really
concept,
why
and
like it gets the chop like while they're like, but we're gonna give Martin Scorsese $3 million to de-age actors that are 90 years old.
That was like $100 million.
Whatever.
I
Yeah.
think. That was like the biggest budget Netflix had ever.
But you guys, okay, so they paid $100 million for Friends for 2 years. Do you guys realize that Friends is going to HBO Max,
which is going somewhere else regardless.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's not even going to Peacock, which is ridiculous because now I'm defending Peacock because that's their property.
Yeah,
it's going to HBO Max. What the fuck?
Warner Brothers.
I just
because Warner Brothers
Netflix
had an executive producer credit or something.
I don't understand any of that. But spending $100 million for 2 years worth of just casual streaming views, like, are you seriously telling me that was worth it?
I'm pretty sure they didn't lose consumers on losing Friends.
No,
or did The Office go away too?
The Office is going to go to Peacock.
I'm pretty sure The Office
has gone away.
already.
Yeah, Parks and Rec is still there. Some of the newer ones are still there.
Yeah, but like
all the
people
old
are
contracts
still
are done.
Subbing to that because they have so much original shit.
Yeah,
but who cares?
Right.
How could the OA not be a part of that?
Yeah, I can't help but blame Friends because that happened around the same time.
Fuck you, Friends.
I'll bring up like OA and like the people are like, yeah, I watched that. I'm like, oh, what'd you think? They're like, oh, it was delightfully weird. They don't say that exactly, but it's something around that. Like, oh, I really liked it. Super weird though, you know? Like, yeah, man, yeah. I don't really know a lot of people who are just like hated it.
Shit,
it was garbage, you know? Like, I don't know. It just seems weird that they're like, yeah, we'll get rid of this.
Yeah. Really, the writers got balls on them for the ending the season.
They really did, yeah.
Dude, that was insane.
Christ. I loved the there were a lot of fast cuts between the machines doing the movements and the group and the different dimension.
Yeah.
Doing the movements at the same time, and that was like just like tops for me. That was like, this is my shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude. Anything that you were like, hey, and then the big climax, Kyle, it's gonna be like a scene where they do like charades. I'll be like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Sounds so stupid.
It's 3 words. First word, go. Second, I'm doing.
You're doing the sign language.
No, I'm there
sack.
with
If
you
you're
guys. I can
here-
see you.
If you're here, you totally get it.
Yeah, we're totally in the
Oh,
same
yeah.
We're
room
in the
together.
same room together. I get you.
Yeah. we are.
So JD, that was your 5.
Yeah, sure.
So my number 5 is Too Old to Die Young.
Oh, it's a slight
Wow.
push to
Are we pushing it?
for me.
Y'all,
Yeah.
y'all really dialing up on the.
All right. So what's your number
Don't
4,
know,
Kyle?
man. It's Watchmen. It's probably getting pushed.
What the
Push.
fuck? Number 4?
Yeah.
Push.
What are we
I
doing?
don't know.
Okay, I'm pushing it. Jesus fuck.
I don't know. I had like 2 shows above it,
I've
like
watched
made
my
me feel
life,
a lot of
and y'all are-
things, and then
I'm not far
All right.
off.
Fine.
God
whatever.
damn it!
All right, number 4 for JD.
It's Too Old to Die Young.
Who gives a shit?
Are
All right.
you do? Did we sing?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's my number 5.
Oh,
my
God
number
damn it.
11 didn't hate it,
Slight
liked
push.
it a lot.
Kyle, dude, damn.
Yeah, I really thought you'd love
really
it.
Yeah, I-
surprised
I'll-
Like,
that
love
it's
it
that-
hard.
I
that
know.
it's
It
that
was
low.
just, I don't know. I'm kind of confused.
Was it did the ending? Did the ending leave you cold because it was just like a half hour?
No, I don't care about that. That part was kind of cool. It's just like, I'm gonna continue killing you guys.
I'm gonna fuck
Because
dudes up.
the scene before that was like, it's nothing but chaos and evil, and she's like, I'm the answer to evil. I actually thought that was a good ending, to be honest. Like, because like the girl who can
Everything
see
about
into
her
the
is so
future or
good
whatever is talking
me.
about how it's just gonna be run by evil, but like she, the Mexican girl, is like this, like, even though she's like kind of evil the whole show, is like kind of this evil the whole show, because she's saving like the women and stuff like that. All she's the vigilante.
Yeah.
But she's like, she claims herself to be like the agent of good, and I like the ending a lot. Actually,
Right.
the ending is not
Same
my
here.
problem with the show at all. I just feel like there are episodes that are an hour and a half long, and I know this guy's style, and I love this guy, and I know that y'all are going to disagree with this part. There's like 20 minutes of content in every episode, and every episode's like an hour and a half long, and it, like that.
I mean, I'm not.
and I gotta
That
be
is-
honest.
that is
Like,
style.
I'm
I'm
just
not gonna disagree.
I
with
know,
you
I
on
know,
that. I'm
that's
just gonna
fine,
say
and-
that with him, it's par for the course.
Well, I know that,
Yeah.
and again, that's why it's
It just-
specified. I know that's his style. I know this is what he does.
Yeah.
I also know that, like, if you were like, Kyle, describe this episode that was an hour and 45 minutes long, I could describe it to you in about 5 sentences. And I know that's being kind of reductive, and I understand that. But like, it's just for a lot of, I had a lot of stuff to do this year, and like this show was just like. I felt there were many times where I'm just like, "Well, you're not respecting my time right now." But I liked a lot of the stuff. Like when you're talking about like I'm your reincarnated mother, you should fuck me. Like that's weird shit. Into it. Like I'm all about it. Like get weird like that.
Yeah, I was
Super into that.
every weird note that this one hit. Man,
Me too.
worked
Yeah,
for me for
yeah.
some
The
reason,
weirder it
you
got,
know?
the more I
Like,
was into it. Again, I even brought up. I was like, the guy is like fucking a little girl, but he's killing pedophiles. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's weird how everybody in this world is, as I think Jeff, you said this, like everyone's just disgusting and perverted.
deplorable,
Like
dude.
everybody
It's just the
is.
deplorable.
Yeah.
Like,
Nobody
That's,
in this world is like innocent or good. Like everybody's awful. Everybody you meet in this entire show is awful. Even the kids, they're trying to do drugs. Not that drugs are bad, guys, but you know, like they're trying to do drugs and they're just trying to.
Stephen Baldwin.
Well, and Stephen Baldwin's just oh my god, everything about him. He's constantly snorting, and it's like
Dude, that
snorting,
is-
like, and that bothered me a lot, but that's fine.
that is such like a weird pervasion of coke nose that
Yeah.
like it bothers
It's
me.
kind of wild to me
It's
that
so weird.
It bothered me
that
too.
despite all the weird shit that happened, and it's
so
kind of wild
weird.
to me. Like I feel like there's some type of projection that Refn is doing, like with Miles Teller's character, where like the Miles Teller's character is into young women.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he is. but he still has morals somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that Refn, in all of his movies, especially Neon Demon, Jesus fuck, especially Neon Demon, Neon Demon, he's all about showing how perverted humans are.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then he'll either, based on that, he'll give him some morals occasionally, depending on if the story demands it. But that's what Too Old to Die Young more or less is like, humans are perverted as fuck, but some of them have morals, some of them don't.
Right.
You know?
Everyone trying to fuck some of them.
That's why like his spitting is so fascinating to me. Like, because he's only doing the spitting when he's like 100%.
He's all
revolted by whatever is happening, or whoever is talking.
Once you said that, I was really paying attention to all that.
It's kind of crazy. And then whoever made that fucking 4-minute cut of all the spitting, like, bless you, because it just
because you probably sneezed a lot. But also bless you for doing. I don't know why I fucking said that.
Right.
That's stupid. That's dumb. That's a sneeze joke.
It's so
Doesn't
stupid.
make sense. Didn't make sense.
Didn't make no sense.
Shut up.
So. Yeah, I just love this show so much visually. I was all up in it.
I like the soundtrack too.
I like the soundtrack a lot.
I love that
synth. It's
that
Cliff.
synth
I think it's Cliff.
so
Cliff Martinez.
Yeah.
Who also did Neon Demon.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there'd be like 10 minutes sometimes where no dialogue would happen and the same scene was going on.
No, you're right. There'd be a 10-minute non-dialogue break followed by one line of dialogue and another 10-minute non-dialogue.
That's how his stuff is. Like Drive's like that too, where
everything's like
where
that,
everything's drawn out, where they stare at each other and they answer.
They let him breathe.
And I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. That's the thing. I actually like because it's just like everything when you're looking at the scene, you're like, there's neon in this scene for no reason. And there's always like something. The scenes always look cool, no matter how long they're dragging on or lingering or whatever. It's I guess it was just in a year full of Jeff watching 150 TV shows and me watching 50. I was just like, you can, come on, come on, just a little bit here. I mean, the whole series, like most episodes, were feature-length, movie-length. Like it was, which is again, it's fine. But I don't know. I really like this show. Maybe I like it more than I'm putting on. But because it's wild, man. Like there's nothing like this show.
I think that's where Jeff and I were coming. I think that's where Jeff and I were coming from when we were like, dude, this is a fucking Kyle-ass show. Like, we'd both seen it all the way through at that point. And it takes a while to get there.
Yeah, it does.
Well, it felt like...
But even
it takes 5 hours to get there.
Jeff, I go, hey, you guys didn't talk about how great this show was. Because I was really enjoying it by, like, episode, 4. Like, right when you said I'd be enjoying it. Like... You're like, by episode 5, you'll be able to stop watching it. And like 5 to 8 or however episode, whatever it was, I watched those in like 2 days. Like it was exactly like y'all said it would happen. So you guys weren't off,
Yeah. Yeah, it's some really good most stylistic shit you'll see.
It is the most stylistic show you'll see all year, 100%. 100%.
Maybe even movie.
But at the same time, like there's Legion though. Kind of right below it.
This still blows that out of the water stylistically.
It does because it's more art house and it's more cinematic.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that Legion is that.
No,
far
Legion still
off,
has a lot of...
because Legion is still a step above
that would
what
be
we
like
normally get on
two
TV.
Yeah. I agree with you.
So it's just cool to have this year be a thing.
So did I. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's fucking insane.
We were alive during this year. Jesus Christ.
We did it.
It's insane. Even though the fucking Mother Nature tried to kill me.
Yeah, they tried.
It tried really hard.
Backfired.
The bitch tried on her period.
I was just like... No. Jeff can see right now. I'm looking out my fucking bathroom window like...
He's drinking that wine. Murph.
Bring it back. Pour me another
take me
bottle.
Up in the van, Murph. So that was that's my number 5 was Too Old to...
So that was my 4, so now it's your 4.
So my 4. Oh, this is the one that y'all haven't fucking seen.
What is it?
Rings hands together, Mr. Robot.
No.
Oh, god damn it!
Yeah.
And you know why I haven't. I was in the mid-rewatch with this.
Yes.
God damn, is it that good?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
And this is it, right? Like
that's it. That's
season,
the end,
series finale.
The end of the fucking show.
4 seasons. That's nice and compact. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am halfway through season 2. I need to get back on that because I still have Prime.
Season 2 is where people started to betray the show.
Yeah.
I don't think. Notice my language on that. I don't think the show.
I love it so far.
I don't think the show dipped in quality. I think people started going, well, this isn't what I want. I wanted Matrix or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They started betraying the show.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. Season 3 is when people that might have jumped off of Season 2. Season 3 is when people that kept watching were like, holy shit, this show took on another level. Season 4 is final season, so you're obviously building towards a conclusion.
Right.
They fucking nailed the ending, dude. That's why I put it so high, is because it's like, I want to be able to tell you guys that they nailed the ending.
I mean, you don't have to convince you to watch it. You don't have to sell me. Like, this is something that I've wanted to rewatch for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's just...
The ending's so fucking good.
I know.
I mean, it's so good.
Shit happens.
They introduce certain sci-fi elements, especially in the last 2 episodes of all episodes, that you're like, oh, whoa. Are they really doing a sci-fi, like, OA type shit right here? Are they really doing this right now? Yeah, okay. You really, start to second guess it, but... let me just say, there's an emotional payoff here. There's more skewing towards a mental illness type health.
I've got some theories about that, possibly.
Really?
With him, yeah.
They don't sugarcoat his mental illness at all.
No, they
at all. Especially in season 2.
I'm about halfway through season 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've plenty of him and the chess player, fucking
Craig Robinson.
Yeah. Got plenty of that.
Yeah, Rory from the warehouse.
Yeah, Rory from the warehouse.
No, that's not Rory. I'm sorry. That's what was.
There's the guy that's like the manager for Pete Holmes for a little bit that plays in the show, right?
Oh my god,
Jabuki.
Yeah, that's not Jabuki. I'm sorry, Jabuki's
not Jabuki, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
He's there for a little bit. He's the guy that he like meets.
He like breathes heavy, and he's like, I don't know, man. We just arranged this interview in a fucking Waffle House.
No, dude, I want to watch this show, and it's one of those that like every time you talk about it, I know it needs to be.
I would agree with most people that season 2 is the weakest one, but I was hooked through all of it, and I thought it ended on this cliffhanger, especially the last 2 episodes. It's like a theme. The last 2 episodes are like just fucking incredible, and you're like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I had watched 4 episodes because I had to rewatch 1 and 2 because I had watched that previously before I lost cable or lost my recordings, whatever the fuck my reason was back then. But I watched the next 4 episodes like back to back to back to back, and literally the tornado was
season 3 will
2 days after that.
Rehook you. The FBI is more involved, and there's a lot of more chasing involved. There's an episode in the last season where he says in like 15 minutes through the episode, he says, it's just best we don't talk.
Yeah. No, I saw that one. Yeah. I saw that one.
No, that's the last season.
Wait.
So you haven't seen that yet. So he goes, I've told you guys about it though, where he goes, it's just best we don't talk. And then for 40 minutes,
that's where I'm getting
they don't talk, and they're doing a heist. They're doing a fucking heist, and they don't talk, and they're on the run. And then there's something that happens at the end of the episode involving a character from season like 1 or 2.
Okay.
And he goes, it's time we have a few words. And I'm like,
really?
Whoa.
Damn.
Like,
that's
just
crazy.
It's all this really thought out, written type of shit.
I'm gonna fast.
Mr. Robot is like,
after I watch Witcher, I'm gonna commit.
It's not just JD type shit. It is very much Kyle, David Lynch type shit.
I felt like I was just waiting.
I feel like I'm a good like,
and I kind of had like the second season kind of like spoiled for me, and I was just like, ugh, and it, like stuff like that really like blows me off sometimes.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah. I haven't had
so like whenever stuff like that happens for me, I'm just like, ugh, and so I try and put time between it and that, and like now that the show's kind of wrapping up, it makes it really easy to like, I'm gonna get to that.
Right. Yeah, like, you got a finite.
Well, now you know where you have an end goal. You know, like you kind of have a finish line. So
right.
Well, season 2, this is when people started doing after shows for Mr. Robot, and season 2 is when
with Chris Hardwick. All right.
No,
he wasn't allowed to. He
he touched people.
Was there some controversy there?
Yeah. You know what? That story went all over the place. So who knows?
I don't even know. I don't even understand it. He's kind of annoying.
Yeah. You know what? Agreed. He kind of. Anytime a comedian picks up a guitar during a set, I'm kind of like, you know what? You either be a comedian or guitarist or Dimitri Marchin. You don't get to be all, you know.
don't get
Yeah, you're either Dimitri Martin or you're not a guy who uses a
seriously.
guitar while doing comedy. That's it. That's
Right.
So with season 2 was one of those weird things where I was watching all these after shows, and every week they would predict where the show is going, and they'd be fucking wrong by the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the season, they're bitter that they were wrong.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where that's the second season, if anything, of Mr. Robot is where I turn my back on after shows in general.
Yeah.
Because I was loving where it was going.
Right. And they're just not getting it.
Yeah, and they're just not. They're just like projecting what they wanted the show to be.
I get when things don't meet your expectations, but you shouldn't turn back and judge that thing non-objectively.
Yeah, it's just insane to me.
Like Game of Thrones, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Like that's not all necessarily objectivity. Like there are just certain things that people wanted to see happen based off of what happened in the show.
They tried. They tried to give it to everybody, but
they really did.
Yeah.
But there were just certain things that they were just kind of like.
Yeah. Never mind.
Never
mind about that.
Yeah, they'll just do
Danny
it.
kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
The writers literally said that.
Yeah. And she also forgot about her Starbucks cup. But hey, all right.
Hey, whoops.
But Mr. Robot, I feel really confident in putting this at number 4 of all places to assure you guys, because I know you guys like to. All of us are like this, especially when you were pitching Deadwood to us, and you were like, "Oh, the ending's not that good," but then they had a movie.
Yeah.
The ending fucking sticks to the landing big time.
Sure.
So
sure. And that
I'm here
that
to
does
assure
matter
you.
because to go back to the point that like Kyle was trying to make, and I was kind of reiterating when Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
Sticking the landing is not the norm.
No.
And this year is not the best example to make that case because we have, as you pointed out, Endgame, which is the culmination of 10 years, 20 films, etc., etc., etc. You have the exception to the rule, but most things don't end well.
Yeah.
In life and entertainment, like things just generally don't end well. How do you end things peacefully?
Not with that long of a legacy, too.
Yeah.
It's just very difficult. I mean,
Yeah,
Mr. Robot
it's-
doesn't have the legacy, quote unquote.
Right.
Has 4 years under its whatever.
But still, it doesn't matter. Like there are shows get canceled after an amazing ending, like the OA. Like it's not the norm for something to know its ending and handle it well. Like all the elements.
I'm sure USA would have let them do anything because that was anything.
That was
only everything
good
USA
thing
had
on USA.
Yeah,
it's literally
Psych and Monk aren't running anymore, so they got to have something.
Yeah. Psych. What? I love that show.
Let's not say stuff out loud like that, okay?
No.
Next, you're gonna be like, Suits, loved it. Suits, hell yeah.
Hey, my name is not Cozart, okay? I don't like
fair.
Suits. But I can't reiterate. Psych was one of those shows that was like, I just signed up for Netflix and started watching it. And so I have that affinity for it like I do with How I Met Your Mother and all these other shows that I got into because of Netflix. But it's not objective at all, but god damn it, I love that show. It's so dumb.
Anyway, sorry. I'm done selling you guys on Mr. Robot. What's
you don't even have
Kyle? What's your number 3? We're all gonna have different but similar number.
I like how you're bracing.
I'm pretty sure my number 1 is not gonna be in nowhere near what you guys are probably what y'all are thinking.
JD and I are about to fist fight over our top 3.
Yeah.
So Kyle,
it's gonna get pushed. It's when they see us.
People win. I think we're synced.
No.
Push.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought so.
Pushing that. You racist.
Oh my God! It's my number 3. Don't Black Panther. Do not Black Panther me right now.
Kyle hates the colors.
I literally, I played the music as you were saying. It's just funny that I played the music. Kyle hates the colors now. I'm stupid. All right, so y'all ready for this?
Yeah, just fucking do it.
Oh,
I know.
Sorry, what's your number 3?
It doesn't matter. It's fucking Watchmen. Fuck you.
You're an idiot.
No, you're an idiot.
Y'all are idiots.
Wait,
No!
mine's number 4, his number 3, and yours is probably going to be at number, what, like 1 through 3?
It's number 1. You know Watchmen's is 1.
How do you know that?
You know that.
Fuck you. All right, so
I have peripheral vision.
my number 3 is Chernobyl.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, it's a push. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
No.
Yeah, get out of here with that.
Yeah, get out.
This is all. This is the last time I'm going to be able to say that, so that's why I'm really piling it on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I agree.
This is ridiculous. I don't even know why we're doing this anymore.
Me neither.
So Kyle, what's your
My number two is Jessica Jones. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Punisher. Sorry.
I'm actually gonna just let you talk, Jeff, because I should have just let you do it earlier. It is Chernobyl for me, so that's on my number two. Your number three.
Push!
What?
Oh my
Push.
god. Can't believe you pushed that hollow.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Hollow.
Yeah,
It's my number three, but fuck
I
you.
don't know.
Hollow.
It's your number.
done
You know what?
this?
Fuck you both. I can't even believe this.
All right, what's your number two, JD?
It's
wrong.
the black people.
It's wrong.
It's the black people.
Nobody
one.
cares. It's my number two, but who cares? Fuck you.
Yeah. It's when whoever sees whatever, and however
Look,
that's broken down in German,
look,
Jeff can break it down for you.
Look, here's the thing. Wann Sie sehen uns.
Did
I
you
don't
just
know.
fucking mansplain when they see us to me in German? Did you just fucking trans-race this conversation?
Here's the best thing about being at number two is that we told people we would be shit-faced by now.
We are.
And we are.
You're
It paid
welcome.
off.
This is
This
amazing.
is for you.
Yeah.
This is for
Totally paid
you.
off.
So, JD, you and I have the
We
same
have
number
when they
two.
see us there.
Screaming.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
like 11
same
o'clock
shit.
in my
So
house.
I
All my
put
roommates
it-
are like, "What the fuck, dude?"
So I put it at number two because of the emotional resonance.
Yes.
That's primarily why I put it above Chernobyl, because I wasn't... Chernobyl was suspenseful as fuck. My butthole was tight.
Yeah.
But
No. I get
but
it.
when they see us was making me weep
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah, that's
Hey, and
why
I usually go
that's
for weep
why I have
over
it there too.
suspense myself, but
Yeah. Right.
Chernobyl was one. Like, people slept on when they see us. Couldn't tell you why. I don't know any. I really couldn't. Like,
look at
I really
the,
couldn't. The Academy
that-
slept, or not the Academy because they don't do TV, but like,
the Golden Globes,
everyone
yeah.
slept on this show, you know, and like people
Yeah.
slept on it. Like when I went to work, they were like, "Yeah, I don't want to
Dude.
watch that." I watched the trial. I'm like, "Yeah, the really racist trial. Okay, cool."
Yeah.
Dude, that guy that played Corey, like, get the
fuck outta here with all that.
here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck outta
to be
here with
able
that performance.
to manipulate your body and your face to play like he was 16, I think.
Yeah, he was 16 and then 28 or something later
to play
on.
the same role
As an adult,
in your 20s. Oh my god, dude! I can't even fathom having to play a
When
role
every
like that.
other actor had to be recast.
And here's the thing.
Insane.
Here's the thing. Sam Rockwell won at the SAG Awards, where actors, like I said, vote for actors.
Yeah.
In previous episode, I think. By this point,
Right.
so he had to sit there and just kind of be
Yeah.
like, bro, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That dude that played Corey, that was his
yeah,
award.
big time.
Period.
100%.
I mean, Sam Rockwell did kill it because Fosse Verdon had to cover several decades of the relationship between Bob Fosse and whatever her first name is, Verdon. Michelle Williams was really good in that role, but like I don't remember her first name at all. And it had to cover like a decade or so, several decades of their relationship, but like nothing was as emotionally taxing or as demanding as that role that Corey, the role of Corey.
Yeah.
So that actor, whatever his name is.
I don't remember his name, but I remember him from Moonlight. He was one of the...
He was.
Yeah,
he
was one of the boyfriends.
He was the
early
younger
on.
jerk off on the moon guy.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
There you go.
What?
Great summary.
It's a gay movie. Surprise.
That is a surprise.
It's not about just drug deals and that's it.
Damn it.
I know. Mine
coasters.
always. Yeah. JD dropped his coaster.
No, I didn't
Party
drop it.
foul.
Gravity did.
Gravity.
Gravity.
Hey, I know that one song.
Against me.
Hey,
I know
Kyle knows
that
that
song. I
song.
see, you already knew.
Let's make more gravity jokes.
If you make more
Well, I have
gravity
to tell you
jokes, I'll be
guys
able to at least go, "Ha, I know that." I can't like interact, but I'll still be like, "Ha,
Here's what's
yeah,
funny.
I know that one."
Wants to bring me down, yeah. Fine.
Anyway, when they see us, depressing as fuck.
Yeah, black people.
Oh wow.
Let me tell you about their
I'm
plight.
about to pass out on episode. Holy shit.
Anyway, it's
I cried
really
hard
good.
during it.
It's 1,000%.
It's not as good as Chernobyl, but it's
at number 2. It's not as good as Chernobyl.
So can I say that this is one of the primary reasons that people say Golden Globes don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people.
100%.
When they see us, not even nominated for
That
one.
blows my mind
Absurd.
because it's one of the most
Absurd.
moving pieces of
And that
art
wasn't
I've
even-
seen
that
all
wasn't
year.
even,
Like, it's so
Q1.
insane.
That
It's
was
so
summer.
insane to me.
Yeah,
That is fresh.
recent. Yeah,
Fresh as fuck.
that's a recent snub. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
I had a coworker that I was trying to sell it to, and they're like, "Well, I already know what happened."
Yes,
and I'm like,
that's how
"Then no, you- then no, you
everybody
don't."
that I talked to, that's how they reacted. They're like, well, I watched the trials, or I know what happened. I'm like, yeah, but like, it was
Right.
really racist, guys. Like,
Yeah,
you should really
come
watch
on.
the movie.
Maybe,
It's kind of nutty.
maybe it's a little bit different than what you remember.
Remember
give
how
it
it
a
was
shot.
for people back in the 80s, man? Like, it was wild. Like, man, that movie was like, that movie made me feel so awful for just being a human being. Not even talking about what race you are or anything like that. Just for being a human being and just watching other human beings treat each other like that. It's just like,
Right.
just for the sake of like closing the case, you know, getting your win.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's
Yeah, getting your book deal.
your book
like,
deal,
all that
you know,
shit
like,
with,
yeah.
with fucking lawyers.
So
that we
who
see
was it? Who
nowadays.
was it in this? Was it Vera Farmiga who played the character? That
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
shitty
No.
Shit heel.
Oh
in
well,
this?
yeah, her, and then also the lady that's now in jail.
She was
for,
she was the
No, I thought it was
Felicity-
Vera Farmiga. It
Felicity-
was
no, there
Oh,
were two.
yeah,
There was
right.
the girl
It was
who ran the
Felicity
precinct
Jones,
who was
yes.
awful.
Felicity
Yeah.
Huffman, not Felicity Jones. He said that's the other girl with the teeth from Rogue One.
the rodent girl. Hey, I rebel.
Oh, I
rebel.
rebel. Is that gonna
She's
be
in
in the
the-
movie?
she's in that
No,
show?
because I rebel.
I didn't know she was in that movie
It's like,
or
okay,
show.
No, he said Felicity Jones when he meant
Oh.
Felicity Huffman.
I didn't know Felicity Jones was in fucking.
Who is now on trial and in jail for all that college admission shit.
Yeah,
but he
her-
said
her
he's
and,
like, he's
her
like,
and Aunt,
yeah, Felicity Jones, and I'm like, wait a second.
Her
Hold
and
on.
Aunt Becky. Yeah, all
Yeah, yeah, fucking Becky.
Felicity Huffman. Yes, she was the unapologetic racist.
Yeah.
That wrote the book that was like.
Yes.
And even to this day, she's like, I meant what I said. I'm like, you're a fucking racist. Cunt.
Yeah,
So-
oh, fuck you.
You're like, bro, you got Oprah coming after you. Are you sure you don't want to?
Yeah, and she's like, no, I stand still. I'm a fucking genius. Fuck those kids. It's like, dude, they were kids, man. Like, what the fuck?
And it was incredibly directed. And I love that they cast Logan Marshall Green, discount Tom Hardy, as they say.
John
Hardly-
Tom Hardly.
Leguizamo killed it. Killed it.
Yes.
Dude,
him,
he was
him
amazing.
and the girl from Reno.
Yes.
What's her face
Yes.
from Reno
Yes.
1?
Niecy
Murder.
Nash.
No, yeah.
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 And
Murdered.
the girl from Orange is the New Black is the bitch fucking stepmom or whatever to
Yeah.
Leguizamo was good too.
Yeah.
That was really good.
And it's crazy. Like, the real people did interviews after this with Oprah, and they put it on Netflix. And they were like, Oprah asked them, are you ever going to forgive your parents for this? Because the parents did kind of throw them under the bus a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and they were like, no. One of them at least said, no, I'm never going to forgive my mom for this. And I was like, fuck, that's a heavy
Yeah,
burden.
dude.
Like, imagine having to live with that the rest of your life because of everything.
Just play it straight, you know. Yeah, fuck that, man. And the guy, I don't know if this was like the same way in real life, but like the guy whose dad, who's just like, you know, I've been I've been on that side of the law, and like you just need to kind of play ball or whatever, and it ruined that kid's life. Like, how, like, it's hard. How do you forgive someone like that? You know, like. It's your parent. It's
We
your.
can't even
It's,
fathom
you can't.
it.
Yeah, it's your parents' job to protect you. You're too young to fathom what's going on, and it's like their job to protect you. And for them to just say like
Well, that's
agree to
like
whatever
what,
they're saying, like even as a
that's
kid,
like-
they're
that's
sitting
like
there
Michael
going,
Williams'
"This doesn't make
character,
sense
like,
to me."
lives
You know,
with
like
that.
oh my, oh don't bring this show up. This show kills me, dude.
Yes. Lakeith Williams does have to. Lakeith Williams.
Michael K.
Michael
Yeah.
K. Williams. Lakeith Stanfield is who I was thinking of. And
Lakeith-
Michael K. I'm racist.
Lakeith
Anyway.
Michael Hyde.
And this was this guy's first TV show. He's never been in anything else ever. That dad ever.
Never.
Never The
Never.
Wire.
No one knows what the
Not
wire is,
know
by
JD. Stop
many.
it.
What is The Wire? I don't even know what that is.
You don't even know what that is.
No one knows what the wire.
The cable? What is
That,
that?
you know, because
Cable?
we have
No,
we
I
actually
can't-
have
I can't wait
FiOS
for you
here,
guys
so I
to
don't even know
finally
what you mean by
fucking watch
wire.
it in
So
5 years, and they're like, "You oversold it." It's like you fucking made me.
We're gonna make JD shoot up a
Oh,
school because we didn't
jeez.
say The Wire. All right. So
You're not that wrong right now. That's
so that was
kinda
my
where I'm
number
at.
2 as well as yours, JD.
It was.
So we have to do honorable mentions now, but if you guys have any.
I mean,
this
yeah,
point.
just have the rest of what I
So
watched.
you guys already mentioned tons of mine, so I'm just going to throw mine out. Euphoria, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Undone, What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
So at least 4 of mine.
Yeah. I liked Living with Yourself. I thought that was a good little
Paul
fun
Rudd
show. That
Paul Rudd
happened
had a lot to work with
that
there.
one a lot.
right before the Nader. Umbrella Academy. Shout out to that.
I like Umbrella Academy a lot.
I love that show. It was like everything Heroes should have been. Season
So good.
1. Yeah.
So good. Cobra Kai.
Oh my god, dude! Season 2 was so good.
It was so
Gotta watch
so
that.
good. And the girl that was in it, that was like kind of like a wedge between.
Yeah. The new girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked her.
She was great.
I liked her. She was good. She was a good
She was
addition.
great. And then I've got like crashing on my list, Jessica Jones, Black Mirror somehow.
Dude,
Didn't
wait,
really...
hold on. You put
Yeah.
Jessica Jones in there?
My own names, yeah.
Dude, because I really liked that new season.
Yeah.
Even though it was the last one.
Yeah.
People were kind of like lukewarm on it, and I was like, guys,
I liked
I was lukewarm on the
I
second
liked
season,
it.
which I know you guys really liked. I really liked the third season. Yeah.
This
Yeah, thank
was
you.
the only Marvel show all year that I watched because I didn't do Punisher, and I still
Punisher
haven't
wasn't
done
very good.
Iron
I'm-
Fist.
Punisher, I really tried to like, and at every point that show turns, it was just like, we're gonna do something that you hate, Kyle, and I'm like, thanks.
yeah, it was a
Thanks, show.
babysitting
Yeah, the whole
season.
thing was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna watch you, and she's like, but I'm independent, and he's like, no, you're not,
Yeah.
and that's the whole show.
That's
Yeah.
not Punisher. You know what I
No.
mean? That's you don't babysit.
The
fucking
Punisher doesn't
teenagers
care about
for
anything
Punisher.
but justice. He
I
doesn't care about
stopped
like
after
individual
2
people.
episodes.
Like,
I just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
that
You
was it.
mentioned another one.
and they were like, hey, Medina's really big.
I still this speaks to this year. Like I obviously didn't watch any shit. My lowest ranked show is True Detective. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's a
Great
good
show.
show.
Like,
It's
are
a
you
really good
serious? Like in most other years, this would be
Mahershala
like
Ali
a
not remembering
mid-tier
shit?
show.
Show. Good
Yeah,
shit. Yeah.
it was Stephen Dorff.
Steven Dorff
actually,
killing it.
acting.
Steven Dorff
Yeah.
Are
murdering
you
all
fucking
season. Oh my
kidding me?
god, dude! Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Like I only know of Stephen Dorff because of that Punked episode from like
You know him
20
from
years
you know him
ago.
from Blade
Hold on.
1, number 1.
I know him
Yeah,
from Blade.
yeah, you
Thank
know him from
Thank you,
Blade,
Kyle.
JD,
Like,
number 1.
I've seen those after the fact, but Punked was the first time that I knew who Stephen
I'm
Dorff was.
offended
I
by
don't know.
this.
I don't know what you're saying, and I hate you.
I don't know. I know what you're saying, and come down here and fight.
Hey, we got time flat out
Yeah,
here.
done. Oh wait,
Hey, bro, why don't you come fight at Pluckers? It will
That's
just be
rude.
civil.
Why would
and
you
just
even
eat
bring
food.
up Pluckers? That's just rude.
So when I have honorable mention wise, this is the Confession Tapes. This is season 2.
Dude, me too. That was my actually top rated docu
So you
series
saw
of the
it?
year. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, it was
fuck
really
dude.
good.
Yeah. Every time this show comes out with new episodes, I'm always like,
Okay,
man, fuck
so
the justice system,
yeah,
right?
the one with the teens, the I think it was the first 2 episodes that they
Yeah.
showed, where it's just them like lounging around a beach house. It's just like, so like you did it right,
Yeah. Yeah, they're all laughing.
but like you like did it right. Like
Yeah.
it's just the coercion and shit.
Yeah,
is
it's
so
fucking obvious.
God, it was so bad.
So fun fact about that show, I watched all of those episodes. I was in New York.
That's right. Yeah, you were there
I
for
was
family shit.
at a lakeside house.
Yeah.
I was in like the den room where it's nothing but windows and you can see
So
the
like,
lake.
if a murder could happen,
So I was like,
was
I was
right
watching
there.
it. And my dad was like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "I'm just watching the justice system." Fuck. It's a great show. I highly recommend it, man. It'll just make you
yeah.
infuriated.
I watched that one as soon as you mentioned it because you said it was 2 seasons and
Yeah,
yeah, I
two,
watched-
two and
I watched
done.
both,
I think
yeah.
they just do it whenever it comes up, basically. Whenever they find a good case. Modern Love is another one that's by the same
Yep, I watched that
director,
one.
writer. You did watch Modern Love?
wait, hold on.
Modern Love
Amazon.
is by the guy who did
Amazon.
Once.
Yeah,
Yeah, Amazon
yeah,
Prime.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I didn't.
So you let
you
Once destroy a really great
All-Star.
movie and then didn't watch its TV show?
You know what, Kyle? It's almost like a tornado ran into my
You know
life.
what?
It really-
Yeah.
it really-
There we go.
You're running out of time, so
This
use
is-
that
you know
one.
what?
All right, it's
It's
running
just
out
like,
of.
This is a two-pronged meta attack right now.
I wanted to, but them naders, man, they'll get you.
This is really good. The all-star cast on this one, and it made me feel things. It was really good. Primal, which I feel like Kyle would know more about this creator who did Samurai
Oh
Jack.
yeah, I really wanted to watch the show. Gendry Taranovsky.
Yes. Thank
He did
Thank you.
the greatest Star Wars Clone Wars cartoon ever created.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
It's
about
fucking
that.
not
Yeah.
canon anymore, so who gives a shit? But it is fantastic. Samurai Jack's amazing. The newest season of Samurai Jack is amazing. I really want to watch Primal. I hear it's awesome.
So Primal is really incredible. There's very 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 little spoken
Good.
dialogue, and it's just a lot of a caveman fault like
Samurai
friendly
Jack,
a
the first
dinosaur in it.
episode was like
But
that.
it's-
Like the very first episode, which is a movie.
Oh,
There was almost no
badass.
talking because he was a Japanese
Yeah.
guy in the future. Like no one spoke each other's language, so it was very cool. So that's very like mirrored
Yeah.
of that.
It's almost I mean, there's only 5 episodes, and the other 5 kind of like Rick and Morty, which is another honorable mention for me. Kind of like Rick and Morty, it's like 5 episodes now, 5 episodes.
I saved my 5 eps,
Um,
so I got that to watch whenever I want. I haven't watched them yet.
Okay. It's fucking incredible. And Rick and Morty's the same thing. It was like the funniest. The reason I included Rick and Morty, even though it was only half a season, which is 5 episodes, funniest fucking shit I ever saw.
And
I mean, I laughed.
that's
so
what I mean.
fucking hard.
I have those
True.
episodes. I haven't quite watched Rick and Morty. I'm
okay.
going because I love Rick and Morty,
Um,
so I can't wait to.
Actually, I'm sorry. I mentioned Succession.
You did.
I
You
think.
said it was your 21st.
Yeah, you said it was
Yes.
your 21.
It is
yeah.
great. It's fucking awesome. I think you guys would really
Okay.
really love it.
Yeah.
HBO show. Sneaky Pete I had to include on here because it was my number
No.
1 last year.
We're not taking.
Whoops. But final season this year didn't really measure up to last year, but it was still really good and a
Yeah.
good finale.
My
It ended where it needed to.
my plan was to actually watch that show in its entirety and not tell you about it, and then just fucking
man.
rank it wherever the fuck it should have been ranked, and
Yeah.
then Nader. So that happened.
Yeah, blame the Nader. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, there was this really good thing I was gonna do, and then a tornado just came in and ruined it, just like everything.
Hashtag blame the Nader.
Yeah.
It was a really good season. It was just it didn't quite measure up, even though you're still seeing him be sneaky because he's.
Oh, hey,
all
all right. The kid,
Um,
Pete is being sneaky,
And then
right?
the last one I have is it's a Facebook show of all
yeah,
shows.
it's that weird one.
Sorry for your loss, where Elizabeth Moss is grieving. Elizabeth
No.
Olsen.
Ugh.
Elizabeth Olsen, the much hotter.
Is this what it's
Elizabeth-
like to be around me all the time?
Yes. Sorry. Sorry, JD. You're terrible with names.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. You're actually really good.
I'm not that bad. It's
No,
just every now and then
You're more accurate than I
I
am.
make a slip up.
But Elizabeth Olsen, the Scarlet Witch, is very upset about her husband dying in season 1. Season 2 came out last year, and it was just powerful as fuck. And because it was on Facebook, obviously it got
Nobody
canceled,
took it
because
seriously.
nobody's fucking watching.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very powerful.
What happened to Limestone or whatever with like Colby Smulders? Yeah.
Limetown. Limetown was with Jessica Biel.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was like a
Oh yeah, that is Jessica
was
Biel.
a,
yeah, no, she. Yeah.
yeah. That was an
Colby
that was
Smulders.
an
What the fuck am I
adaptation
talking
of a
about?
very popular. You might be talking about.
There is a. She is in a like.
Stumptown?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Stumptown.
about.
Stumptown.
Ah, that's what I call my nether regions. That's
That's
great.
that's a procedural.
Yeah, of course it is.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. I didn't keep with it. But Limetown ends on this fucking cliffhanger where doesn't matter if I spoil it now, but she gets fucking kidnapped at the end of season 1. And like it's kind of like she interviews she interviews her closest connection to the town of missing
Yeah.
people, and he goes, "Man, they're gonna kidnap you in like 15 seconds here." Blah blah blah, and then they kidnap her, and then the credits roll, and I'm like, "Wow, can't wait to season 2." Surprise,
Canceled.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that show was really good, but Sorry for Your Loss is more poignant. Like, I feel like anybody can benefit from watching Sorry for Your Loss,
Yeah.
despite any type of cliffhanger it could end on. And I don't think it has that big of a cliffhanger, honestly. But
Yeah.
I could have benefited from more. Yeah. That's all I got. Kyle, do you have
I got
any
a couple
honorable
here.
mentions?
Really enjoyed Vikings. Those fight scenes are like they're ridiculous now. I can't believe like History Channel even has that kind of money. Righteous Gemstones, super funny. Laughed a lot.
God,
A lot
I
of
can't wait to
dicks
get
in this.
that.
A lot of dicks
really
in this season. That dude would come out
my
like
God.
turtle head on turtle
Hey,
head.
that dick quota after GOT.
Yeah,
is
it's in
they
full
got-
effect
they
of
got
the
slots
show,
to
and
fill.
I mean, I really like this whole idea of just Danny McBride and Adam Devine like being brothers and being like these just the shittiest fucking like televangelists in the entire world. Very great. The whole premise is great. Execute on right. Walter Goggins shows up at the end. He's just appropriately slimy and shitty, and love him so much. Everyone's talking in these like really awful accents. It's awesome. I love that show. I think it's great. Very funny. Yeah. Silicon Valley, great last season. Wonderful
my God.
last season.
I got
So
2 episodes
funny.
left.
Make sure you watch the documentary
Just 2.
afterwards.
Okay.
Oh, so to backtrack a little bit, this is equivalent of Mr. Robot. This one does stick the landing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Silicon Valley has a
Another
great
one.
ending.
Great,
Yeah,
great final
absolutely,
season.
yeah.
Good.
And I don't want to spoil
I
it
like
too
where it's
much,
going
but
so
like
far.
think Parks and Recs in terms of like we're gonna fast forward, so yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, the
Good.
final episode.
Yeah, it does really good,
So
and the whole
fucking good.
season's
Yeah.
really great.
Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, I canceled HBO prematurely.
You did, yeah,
so
big time.
I was expecting
You did.
to have it.
Yeah, everyone's really mad about it. We're trying
We're
to move
not
past
talking to
it.
you about
Hey, look, I'm sorry my bills got paid and your feelings got hurt. Fuck you guys.
Tornado.
Just you guys are dumb. I really liked One Punch Man. It's another anime. I don't know if you guys would like it. I think you have to watch enough.
Dude, it's been on my watch list forever. I've watched 3 episodes.
Oh, great. Okay,
Love
good.
it. It's just a matter of.
I never know if this
revisiting
is
it.
one I
Yeah.
could recommend because it's so satirical to anime. So it's kind of like you kind of have to.
Oh, I love.
Well,
that's
good.
what I
So
love
you know
about it.
enough
Yeah.
about anime to get like what it's making fun of. Like, so which is
Yeah.
good. Yeah, and that's all you really need to know. And this season was awesome. There are like 3 episodes at the end that are just like one fight and they're just like spectacular. And Sayatama, the main guy who punches people in one hit and like just kills them, which is like anticlimactic in every sense of the word. He
And what I love about it is
sits
that
like on the couch like almost this entire season. Like it's
Yeah.
everybody else's show this season, and it's so amazing. And I really, really, really adore that show. I think
Well, I mean, that's not surprising to hear because the first 3 episodes is him being inconvenienced by.
big time. Yeah.
Like he's just
Well,
kinda like,
and the
okay,
second
I'll
season,
go
he's
punch
so
this guy.
complacent. He's like, well, nobody's stronger than me, so who cares about anything anymore, And he's just, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like I train so much, I'm so better than every. And he literally kills everything in one punch. So like every fight is just like him jumping in and punching.
It's a
Like
literal
it's literally the
literal
premise
battle.
is the show. Like it's very funny and. So it's like when he pops in, you just know how it's gonna end. But like it's just how things unravel. You're like, this is so clever, because it's making fun of the power dynamic in anime. It's very very funny. Anyways, that's really all I've got. I don't have.
Oh, cool. Did you mention all yours, JD? Or?
Yeah, I got all mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So we're at our number 1s. Kyle, what's your unsurprising number 1 at this point?
It is Jessica Jones. Okay, I'm sorry. The Punisher.
God damn it!
You guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm the Star Wars cuck of this entire podcast.
Yup.
My God.
I know. You guys are surprised to hear that. That I'm the Star Wars cuck. Not that it's number 1. I was going about
yes.
like, and I'm actually gonna like call myself out here. I don't think this is the best show of the year. If we're talking about objective, like best written narrative, like flowing show, this list is all about like what did it make me feel? Like how was I feeling? And this show gave me, for me, as big of a Star Wars fan as I am, and as much as it was speaking to the cartoons and existing lore that's out there, this was just like a wet dream for people like me. And like, I don't think new Star Wars has really like catered to that a lot, which is fine. Like, I've liked everything that new Star Wars has been doing, but this is the one that they were like, we're going deep on everything, and like, it's gonna be real light on narrative, but you guys are gonna real love the references. And this whole show was that, and I felt myself every week just like so ecstatic to watch it. Like I made a deal with my buddy. We'll come home, we'll watch it every day, even though I had the opportunity to watch it at work every day, like every Friday. And it killed me not to watch it. I had to wait all day. Some episodes I cheated. I'm like, can't wait, and I would just jump in. I just really adored just the amount of call outs and just like the realism of it. Like I felt like there were many, when you're watching it, you're like, wow, they're using a lot of practical effects here. And then you hear about how they shot it. I don't know if you've seen this, but like that 360 degree holographic room that they pretty much shot this entire like season in. you guys, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, you have to look it up. Like, it's so far beyond something I can explain to you guys, but like, it's basically like not green screen. Like, it is putting what you would put on green screen onto a screen, so the actors are acting in the environment they think they're in, but it looks real also. So like all the outside shots, everything you see in that entire show, all indoors, not shot on scene, not shot outside ever. It's all shot inside in a sound studio. With this holographic like setting that's around it or whatever. I'm sorry, a screen like setting that's around it, like a green screen like setting. And it sounds like I'm talking about, oh, that's how they shot the prequels. It is, but again, it's like the stuff was on the script. You have to look it up. It's so impressive. It's the most impressive thing I've ever seen. Because I was sitting there the entire time like, how do they shoot this? This is so ridiculous. And just like the high budget of it, every episode was just super high budget. It just looked really good. Even like when you're watching like stuff like Battlestar Galactica, JD, like whenever it goes to dogfighting, look great, but it looked like a TV great. You know what I mean? Like, looks really good, but it looks like it looks TV good. You know, this doesn't look TV good. It just looks good. You know, and
look TV good circa.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's still, and I'll go back and watch, and like it still looks good. Those dogfights look great, but again, like TV great. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just really love this show, and I've been on such a Star Wars high lately, and it's really easy for me to just be like, yep, that was it. But I think there's just more to that. Again, I've been talking a lot these last 2 episodes about like those communal like television watching events, and like Mandalorian was kind of like that for me as well. I got a lot of love for Star Wars. A lot of people in my life who just love Star Wars, and we love getting together and watching it, and love getting pumped about it and stuff like that. And Mandalorian was really that for me. And I think The Mandalorian is going to change. I mean, it's probably a big reason why Obi-Wan was delayed. Like, I think Mandalorian and the way that people are accepting it is changing a lot of the ways that I think we're going forward in Star Wars later. I don't know if that's good or bad yet, but that's what's happening, it seems like. And I really just love this show. Can't believe they pulled something off like this. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni working together is a dream team. And I hope they're already being tapped for many other things. It's just unconclusive what they're going to do. I hope whatever they do next is awesome. Outside of Mandalorian, I mean, we're getting season 2 like this year. Like, it's happening this year. We're getting it that quick. They can't fucking pull The Witcher together that quick, but for God's sakes, we can pull together this like movie TV show. So
yeah, that's cool, man. I 100% agree with you from the event standpoint. Like, Andrew and I, was just more like, he would text me in the middle of the day like, you didn't watch it, did you? I was like, no, wait.
Yeah, just wait for it.
Wait, just go to sleep. And I mean, it was definitely the closest thing that I had this year to try to synchronize and watch TV kind of.
There's just not there's not a lot of like live action speaking to the cartoon stuff. And this was a year of that. Like, the movie even does that. We'll talk about that later in like the movie podcast. But like the movie, like tons of like, hey, we're recognizing Rebels and Clone Wars. I'm like, great, because no one else ever did. So, and this show, like, it ends on the biggest Rebel/Clone Wars like twist. Like, you know, like you have to watch those shows to understand like what that saber is there at the end that you see. You don't know anything about that unless you've seen those shows. So it's just, it's pretty much just Disney going, hey guys, you got a little bit of time to catch up on everything, or you can just keep on, you know, like enjoying it in the way that you are. So, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think you need to watch Clone Wars and Mandalorian to appreciate. And Rebels to appreciate Mandalorian more. I just think that if you want to dive deeper, there are deeper levels to go. But like, there's still plenty of things to enjoy without like having to make this your life, you know. So again, I don't have the time to read all the books and comics and stuff like that, and this is my favorite thing in the world. It's just like there's so little time for all that type of stuff. So that's my number 1 though.
Cool. Hey Kyle, I'm glad you like it.
Okay.
He's been sitting there thinking.
I know that it really is. Yeah, and I know you said it's funny, but I'm like, hey, I'm glad you like it.
Hey Kyle, I'm glad you like
Thanks,
it.
Chris.
No, I actually really had fun with that series.
You and I were geeking out about the last couple episodes, especially. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah, dude! Those last couple episodes, everybody's coming together. He's getting.
We finally got a narrative.
He's
that
getting
was
bad actress into the mix and,
all the way through.
Yeah, they're fucking shit up together. It was great. I love that shit.
That was good
The
shit.
speaking language.
JD, what's your incorrect number one?
I'm sorry. Did you say correct? Because that's what I heard.
I did not say anything.
I'm sorry.
No, because I already gave the correct answer, so you're actually giving the incorrect one. So,
Kyle, I thought you were living in correct Dorado right now, and you're not. So anyway, ignore everything he just said. No, my correct number one is fucking goddamn Chernobyl.
Oh, wrong. Cool.
Are
wrong.
we fucking serious, dude?
No, it's my number
It's wrong,
two,
but
so I don't know
that's
how unserious I am.
Oh, it's number two. That's wrong too.
No,
That's
not
wrong.
Okay,
I'm going to tell you why it's not wrong,
'cause
because Chernobyl actually
I've been
happened,
trying to
Jeff.
Yeah, thank you. I've been trying to reconcile this shit for as long as I can, and in the midst of my newfound solitude in my apartment, where I've actually had the time to like reflect on this shit, I just feel like Kyle, you got it at 2, and Jeff, you got it at 3 or 4.
I don't know. Who
No,
cares?
you fucking know.
I hate
You
it.
fucking know.
I hate it.
You fucking know. It's at 4.
It's at 3.
You've got it at 3. Okay. So what we have here is not dissimilar from a Dunkirk effect, where you guys collectively just hate real life shit more than you hate.
Why am I getting
sci-fi.
lumped into
And-
Jeff's third?
Because your number one is also fucking sci-fi. So technically it gets lumped into that, even though you have Chernobyl at 2
Kyle's
and
is
he has
fantasy.
it at
Let's be real.
Okay,
Jeff,
I'm gonna
fight you.
It's more
Jeff,
yeah, okay.
Jeff,
All right, look.
Thank
Look,
thank you
look,
for.
why
thank you
are
for no-
we
yeah,
striving
no,
for?
I
We're talking about
appreciate- I
opinions,
appreciate
not
you for knowing
accuracy.
what's up.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. No, but
I
seriously,
appreciate
I don't know why, but I love content that stresses me out. I don't know why I have this in me, but there's something about the likes of a Dunkirk or Chernobyl where it's a real thing that happened, and somebody is able to convey that stress in a medium that is typically reserved for fiction, and the entire time I'm able to sit back, have these emotions and feelings, and just be like, this actually fucking happened. This was real. This was something that if I were born in a different part of this world, in this reality, I could have possibly experienced something like this. And, I mean, I 100% understand why your number one is your number one.
No, you don't.
No,
He's talking to me.
I do.
Otherwise.
No.
He's like, no. No.
No. Wrong. No. I get it. I fucking do. It's just our lenses are pointed in a different direction, and that's fine. That's 100% fine. I personally prefer things that are based in reality. And when it comes to that visceral reaction, and when I have something like a Chernobyl or a Dunkirk or something that actually happened that stresses me out and sticks with me, I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't get stressed out in real life at all. Like, I'm too goddamn chill. I am way too fucking calm about even serious shit. And when I see a show that actually causes me to have anxiety and feel something for a change, I don't know why. I just gravitate to that and I can't forget it. And if Chernobyl were a show that happened in December, this would be a different conversation. But it happened in June or July, whenever the fuck it was during the summer. And I feel like sometimes that resonance kind of dissipates with people. And I don't know. It's something that's stuck with me, and it's kind of been my like locked in ironclad number one ever since. And
it obviously
That's cool,
didn't
though.
stick with me at
I
all
guess
because
so.
it's only at my it's only at my
'cause it's just your
measly number two.
And this is
And
my
it
number
obviously
three.
just depreciated significantly as time went on for me.
and we can have this argument all the time about how I hate fucking
Exactly,
Blade
yeah.
Runner, which was my number two.
Yeah, and how we hate
cerebral
Dunkirk, yeah.
sci-fi. And you guys hated Dunkirk, even though it was like somebody's 4 and somebody else's 2. And,
just to validate.
these are the
Let's-
lines that we
Let's
draw.
settle down. It's my 7 or some shit.
Yeah, okay, but I'm racist because I put Black Panther at number 7. Like, fuck you.
All I'm saying is that
Because it fell into like 14
as a
since then.
viewer,
So if we redo that list, you guys would lose your minds.
fiction is fucking dope. I love fiction, but when I have something that's real that elicits a real emotion out of me, I'm always going to lean towards that. I don't know.
Let me just
It's objectivity within inobjectivity, and I get it.
Hey, you know what's real? Black Wall Street. In Watchmen.
Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is my number one.
Okay.
Do you know? That's real.
African American Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
Okay.
Where they, in Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
all these black businesses got successful, and then white fucking racists came in and started burning the fucking town
Oh,
down.
no, I 100% buy that.
Hey, so the premise
The
of
story-
Watchmen
but the
is
story...
based on reality.
Okay, based on. I mean, so, yeah, tell me about all those squids that have fallen down.
We actually could.
Enlighten me. Look, again, Watchmen was my number 3.
Because you hate it.
Watchmen was our number 4, so I guess I hated it more.
I would... Yeah, I mean,
Yep,
I would
clearly.
rather
Clearly.
watch anything other than men.
It should be called Watch Women.
Should the choice be thrust upon me? No, I fucking loved Watchmen, dude, and I do not want to undersell that at all. It was so fucking good, and I think if I had been watching it week to week, it might, maybe, possibly have taken that jump, but
It maybe would have possibly been at your number 4.
Would have dropped one.
or if I watched it week to week. I just think that Chernobyl consistently took over a month and a half of my life because it was 5 episodes. So we're going to say a month and a half, whatever. And it stressed me the fuck out, just like Dunkirk did. And I can't forget.
There were, to validate what JD's saying here, absolutely 5 weeks of me coming into work on. When did that show air on Mondays or?
It was a Sunday or
Yeah,
no, it was a
yeah. So I would
Monday
come
night
in on
show.
Tuesday.
So
I would come in
every
on
fucking
Tuesday
we're going
and
into work
just
after
be
that
like, I can't believe the depravity of humanity that we would cover up. Like every week, I would just come in just all fired up and like that show affected me on a level. And we had a 2 for this year with When They See Us. It was just like, hey, you guys want to see how awful humans can be? You want to see it? You guys want to check it out?
Yeah. No, this was a totally.
It was,
different
but
angle
it's
on that,
kind of the same.
Equally
it's the same kind of
represented.
message. Yeah, like not that like different types of awfulness, but
I feel
it was arrogance versus
yes, very much
ineptitude.
so. Yeah.
You know, when they see us as willful ignorance versus systemic ineptitude, and Chernobyl is definitely systemic ineptitude, but a totally different angle on it, and then just blind arrogance that what you know and what you think is true, and you're ignoring science, or at least you're ignoring the development and the process of science along the way because you have a narrative that you want to spin. And that's the most terrifying thing to me is that, yeah, this was a Russian problem, but is it really a Russian problem?
No.
Like, this is something that I could totally see American politicians or the powers that be doing if this ever happened on our soil. This isn't that far of a reach for, trying to control a situation.
That's the thing. I
have an inherent distrust of our government,
to be honest.
in general.
And that's the scary part is just like when watching.
Yeah.
And I know Russia, they're more proud and they're going to keep it like stuff, but like we're not much different than that. We're a very proud nation as well.
No, we're really not. Except I think we're a little more willing to let our position slide a little bit.
We have more capabilities too. We have more resources and everything to like fix stuff like that. But it's just that show really showcased, it magnified the idea of just like not protecting like the greater good or anything like that. But it's just like the flow of information can be controlled in a way that can like be the destruction
the
of
narrative
it.
can
The narrative
always
can change.
be
Yeah,
spun.
like it can be controlled.
Always.
People can get killed over
and
it,
the
and
shitty
we're doing
thing
that now.
is-
We're seeing that now, like with politics, like people just dropping dead, and trying. We're seeing it right now.
The people that are in charge of spinning the narrative oftentimes have no fucking concept of what they're even talking about. And I think that's the most troubling thing is that you have people that are making decisions. And I run into this in my industry all the time with people that, and I'm sure you guys too, you guys as well, like it's people that have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And they are responsible for making decisions about things. And it's just like, it's so mind-bogglingly numb that people like that can still exist in this day and age where you just have no fucking concept of what you're talking about.
Well, I mean,
yet.
that's why there was a cover-up, because they didn't know what was happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the most frustrating part of the whole situation is that with a little bit of transparency to not only your people.
I mean,
but
they were
world.
keeping people
Like,
in cities that were
did
infected
not
by
affect
radiation.
a city
just
or
not
a county
cause a riot,
or a country.
It just
It affected
creepy.
the world, and it was just one of those things. It was just like, we'll just fucking sweep over it and try to brush it off. And it's a frustrating story, and the stress and anxiety that it caused on a week to week basis is just.
And it's multifaceted too. So like, if you want to get into the weeds on it,
just like Dunkirk. With me.
yeah, you could evacuate all those towns, but where do you put all those displaced refugees and everything like that? So like it's I mean, at the same time I get like the governmental decisions, but also at the same time it's like government and humanity.
You
like there's
somehow.
a weird line there of like where one gives into the other, and oh man, yeah. It's hard to find that line sometimes.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm not saying I would make any better or smarter choices as a politician or a power that be, but I'm not. So therefore, I'm afforded the luxury of criticism. And,
I pay my taxes.
And we're
criticize.
American and they're Russian, so fuck them. Fuck them 2 ways from Sunday, because as America, we'd never do that. But we actually totally probably would. So. Anyway, that's my case, and just go ahead and murder that with your Watchmen.
Whatever, Chernobyl's piece of shit.
Yeah, piece of shit. Hated it.
I'm very, very surprised because I know Watchmen was your most anticipated over all of us.
It was.
Lame.
It really was.
Yeah, why
did
did you
you
hate it so much then?
No, that just speaks to the resonance. It's like, Chernobyl doesn't have this sort of decayed half-life with me.
Okay, way to be literal with it.
Yeah, there we go. And we're talking about fucking atoms and shit.
No, that's what I love about Watchmen so much.
It stuck with me. It stuck with me harder and longer.
It took a period of time that very much happened.
Yeah.
That America, to this date, refuses to acknowledge.
Yeah.
And turn it into an alternate history of things.
Yeah.
I love
that.
Which is very much what happened in the graphic novel, where they took Vietnam as a prime example of implementing Dr. Manhattan into Vietnam, and then being like, well, we won that because Dr. Manhattan existed.
Right.
So therefore Nixon is president forever.
Right. Even though in real life, of course, we didn't.
Right. Of
Are you
course.
anything?
Of course.
Wait, we didn't have a Dr. Manhattan for Vietnam?
We did not. No blue guy. No blue guy. We had Tropic Thunder. That was what happened.
Depending on who you asked, we lost. But if you...
That was a tie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it was more of a tie.
Yeah.
Both sides withdrew, so we
Oh
won.
my God. Yeah, we
you guys like
withdrew,
Thai
so
food?
therefore we won.
Yeah.
But with Watchmen, the tackling of the racial issues in I feel like present day, more or less.
Yes. Absolutely.
And putting that into this version of Watchmen, it feels like it just for me it just resonated more. It's like when they see us plus Chernobyl equals Watchmen. That's what it felt like for me, because you're putting a real life situation with Black Wall Street plus the Chernobyl, the stress of like everything that I don't know comes with that, plus the present day bullshit that we're seeing nowadays with racial issues. I mean, it was very intentional that Damon Lindelof specifically said that he was going to make Watchmen make about race.
Yeah.
And because that's what everybody talks about.
Right.
And I mean, to various degrees, people acknowledge it like that.
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask. When I hear him talk about it, I hear him talk about how like it was very intentional how they made Dr. Manhattan a black person.
Yeah.
In this show, it was very intentional how they transferred it to a black woman. The powers.
Yeah.
Spoilers on that, I guess. But I mean, when you hear him explain that, I'm like, okay, I fucking get it. Like, I totally fucking get that. And it's just to the degree to which you're on board with that, which I guess you're not because you hated it.
Yeah, clearly, I mean,
if you took your MAGA hat off for 1 second, you would realize this is a good old TV show.
It's the one day I'm not wearing a hat, Kyle. Straight from work.
That's what I admire about it, though, is that, like, you could have just made...
love it for
you
that.
could have just made a fucking Watchmen bullshit superhero thing that all of us like generally, I guess.
Sure.
Like The Boys, but Watchmen, except that kind of denigrates The Boys. I didn't mean to do that, because I love The Boys. That sounds fucking weird to say.
You love The Boys.
I love The Boys in and around my mouth. But Watchmen, the fact that Damon Lindelof bothered to make it a somewhat similar thematic, relevant thing that the original graphic novel did, I'm shocked to this point that Alan Moore hasn't respected it as such. Because
really? I didn't know it. Not that you're... I'm not saying really you're surprised. I'm surprised that he hasn't.
Yeah, no. Yeah. He hates any rendition of any sequel or adaptation of Watchmen to this date because he's busy with Aliens or whatever the fuck he's doing. So it's like the perfect version of a sequel series or movie or comic you could possibly imagine of it. Yeah. Especially the way that that was what really kind of tipped me over is like having read the comic like several times. Yeah. I didn't expect him to get the voice of Dr. Manhattan completely down. Yeah. Like he got it to a fucking T. Yeah. It's Dr. Manhattan. Yeah. And that blew my fucking mind. I mean, that felt like an unenviable task, an impossible task, and he just nailed it to the most precise manner. Yeah. That's why it was that's what elevated it over some of the other ones. Okay. For me. I get it. And I definitely cried at the last episode.
Oh, I did too.
When he was like, I'm living every moment with you, I was like, cool, I'm crying, thanks.
Yeah, dude, the entire like courting scene when they're there at the bar just talking to one another, like that whole episode was just like,
when he's like, here's how this is gonna go. And,
right.
Yeah.
In 20 minutes, really well you're gonna ask me. Yeah. And that shit was.
But because we know, because of the history that we know about Dr. Manhattan, that's what makes the writing so beautiful. Yeah. Is that because of the history that we know
that he means it when he says he's in both places at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what makes his death so powerful. Is when he says, I'm living every moment with you at the same time. Right. That's what made it so emotionally resonant with me and made me emotional.
Is that he knew that's where
because it felt genuine and you know that character that's
Manhattan's perception of time and how it's displayed in the comic book, the movie, and now the TV show has always been like one of my favorite parts of the entire series.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the TV show. It felt like, that's going to be fucking impossible. Right. They're just going to have to avoid.
It's actually very in line with Arrival, except for the whole language aspect of it. Yeah.
And they nailed the language.
If you've ever experienced it, you've always experienced it. Yeah. And that kind of goes in line with more Interstellars and everything.
Murph.
If it ever happened, it always happened. Yeah. If it could happen, it did.
I feel like the Dr. Manhattan shit really elevated it over the top for me because I thought the entire time that they were just going to ignore him because how do you write that character?
Right, but then they put fucking Black Manta in there and he just delivered.
And he fucking delivered hard, dude.
Like, fuck your Aqua
not just that, but
movie,
the writing was just impeccable for me. That and everything building
Tim Blake Nelson.
Everything. Oh my god, he's so good.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I just watched his like GQ thing where he just goes through all his biggest roles.
Really? He's got a ton of them.
Like, you guys should watch that series. Like it's done by GQ. It's on a weekly or like bi-monthly basis, and it's actresses, actors, and they're just kind of, hey, give me some insight about this role, And it's like 5, maybe 7 minute, sometimes 3 minute explanations of actors and what went on behind the scenes, and it's really insightful. And so he talks about like Minority Report and just some of the movies that he did early on.
I don't even remember him in that movie.
No, he's the gatekeeper, if you will, of all the bodies that are in the halos.
That's
he's like, you might be scared about what you find, or whatever the fuck the line
is. His wife throws his eyes onto the keyboard.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where did you get
those? Yeah. And that was like one of his first movies. Yeah, actually, his first big roles, like Spielberg.
So after that, it was Coen Brothers and shit.
Yes,
like that?
Spielberg called him because of what he did on a Coen Brothers movie. Wow. And basically was just like, we want to give you this role, and he was perfect. It's for Spielberg. Like, how do I say no to this?
He was perfect for Looking Glass because he's the type of character, and he's the type of actor that has like the conviction to run along with somebody that I don't know, just feels like somebody that has these principles that you respect, but he's got this dilemma inside of him.
Yeah, he's either down on his luck or he just doesn't make the right choice.
Or he doesn't like the system.
Yeah.
And,
no, it worked.
It
worked.
felt right. It felt right,
did.
man. That's perfect casting.
Yeah, he was
Regina
good.
King is perfect.
Regina King is
casting.
top notch. Chick from and
I think my favorite line in the entire movie series is I need you to get the fuck off the pool.
That's
delivery.
funny.
Yeah, that was great.
Because she's like still like grounded in real world,
right?
Seeing this seemingly extraterrestrial being. He's not from another planet. But walking across water, he's like, I'm just gonna need you to get the fuck off the pool and talk to the kid. Tell me where the kids are.
Ones that you just blinked away.
And he's like, this is gonna happen to you one day.
Yeah.
And she's like,
well, he just says, I need you to see this.
I need you to see this. Yeah. No, it was so fucking well executed. Like I can't.
And even though he's not pro season 2 right now, and that means HBO is not.
Yeah,
me too.
I'm okay with that.
He told us.
He
said that it was just going to be one season from the beginning.
We all know what happened.
So
he did, and we didn't believe him because it was like,
it was really good. We like it, so he'll make another. He's like, no, I said I'm only making one. We're all like, what?
Damon Lindelof. When Lindelof says something, he means it, and I know a lot of diehard, pissed off Lost fans probably disagree with me on that, but. The thing that got Lost all fucked up is that he literally said, I know how I'm going to end it. Mm-hmm. And everybody was like, oh, you know exactly where this is going. It's not what he said.
Yeah.
He knew exactly how he was going to end it. He ended it with the exact same shot that it opened with.
Yeah.
Jack's eyes.
That's what Matthew Fox said when he was saying that, oh, I know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
And when people were like, what? You knew
how do you know what's about the polar bears, bro? Yeah.
He was like, no, I meant it was going to close.
Literally.
I was going to close my eye at the end of the
with Vincent
show.
right there, which is how he opened the eyes at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
So
which
people
is
just
took for me.
Oh,
but,
perfect for me. But it just bent so many goddamn people out of shape because everybody's like, so you knew the whole time that it was going to end in a church?
You know what I remember most about the end of Lost is that right after the finale ended, it cut to Jimmy Kimmel Live. And he was sitting there in the crowd watching the show, and all of them are misty-eyed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's what matters.
There you go.
That's what matters. Not fucking polar bears or whatever the fuck.
I did, and I've been outspoken about this. I did not like the ending of Lost as it aired, and it took several conversations with several people to kind of get me back and just kind of appreciate it for more what it was rather than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's me
it's been
me
a
with
very
like, movies
difficult.
like Rise of Skywalker is an example of like I went in there going, I'm gonna accept this for what it is.
Yeah,
and that's why I ended up coming out loving it more than criticizing it or whatever. It's because a lot of people went in there with like assumptions about what it was going to be.
Yeah,
I would say it still feels like more people like that movie than Last Jedi, though. If like, just like
for sure, yeah, because critics are the only ones that are really raving against Rise of Skywalker. Like, I still have not talked to a single person that hates.
Yeah, I mean, I know people who are just like,
probably lucky.
It should have been like that, but like, I don't. Yeah. Like Last Jedi was.
Yeah, I've got people that. Oh yeah.
It was.
Dude, that happened like on my birthday, and I was like, why is everybody in such a bad fucking mood today?
I had somebody say, ask me, hey, I heard, Watchmen is SJW, blah, blah, blah. Should I watch it? And I was like, well, if you're not a neo-Nazi, then you're fine. You're going to love it.
As long as you don't mind black people getting things, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Like,
because the people that are opposition are literal neo-Nazis.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
Yeah.
If you're good with that...
It's no fucking coincidence that Don Johnson is fucking snorting blow. He's white. It's white. Duh. Like...
Didn't even make that connection. Anyway, that's our top 20 TV shows. Thanks for sticking around for 17 fucking hours for our episode. Find us on EoC Pod at Twitter, and find us at Letterboxd on EoC Pod, Facebook.
Oh, that sucks.
Apple Podcasts.
Apple.
Fuck you music.
Fuck you batteries.
.com.org. Fuck you face. EoC.music.podcast.
I'm gonna put my
Find
mic
us.
up. Just
All right, whatever. Find us. There we go. Boom.